you had your walls up. So from the start, we never fit. But I thought you'd finally give in and let me in. I remember the way you looked at me in the hours wasted walking down the streets of our college town, trying to figure out what this was. And the time I stayed up all night with your philosophical words to live by in my mind. We tried to make it work under October skies. I took the last open spot on the couch. Casual conversation. I mentioned how you were different.
OMG, we finally got it going, you guys. I promise we'll be right there.
But I can read between the lines. The way you looked at me in the hours wasted walking down the streets of our college town, trying to figure out what this was. And the time I stayed up all night with your philosophical words to live by in my mind. We tried to make it work under October skies.
Cool.
When you hear this, you'll
Oh, you're
pretend like you hate it. You'll tell all your friends that you hate me, but that's
and then
not
OBS.
true.
Wow.
Deep down inside,
That's okay.
I know you secretly love it. This dramatic song you always wanted, 'cause that's how you are. But this is my
Yeah, yeah.
last straw,
That's always
so
my.
don't
Okay.
call
Oh,
me
oops. Either way. Okay.
Hey.
No.
Mhm.
Is
No.
it?
No.
Looked at me in the hours wasted walking down the streets of our college town, trying to figure out what this was. And the side
Sugar.
stayed up all night with your philosophical words
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in my mind. October sky.
Mm. Wow.
In my mind.
Mhm.
I'd like to know your middle name. Let's talk about your parents and your future dreams. I'm interested but distant to a fault, and I never want to complicate your heart. I've gotta let you know that I think I love you so. You could be my only one, 'cause I think that I love you so. I know we only just met, so what I feel invested. Do you feel it too? Do you feel it too?
Okay, we are on, I think. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello.
You did it.
We
You
did it.
pressed all the
Yes.
buttons.
We did it. Hi, you guys. How are you? I'm so sorry for all the technical difficulties.
You
It's
don't have
all
to
good.
apologize.
Glenda,
The-
Glenn, can you ask your cousin Glenda? Can you hear us? Can you hear our audio? Can you hear us loud and clear? Hello, 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 you guys, and welcome to Girl Talk. We are so excited to be here.
Yay. We did it.
We
You
did,
did
we
it.
did,
We
we
made
did,
it.
we did. After all
Mhm.
those technical difficulties, I'm going to hand it over to our moderator and fearless leader today,
Sure.
our lovely Alexa. Take it away.
Thanks, Annie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Hi everybody. Welcome in. Welcome to Girl Talk. My name is Alexa. I am your host for today. If you hear some people saying Riz, that's also me. Yeah, it's Friday. It's been a long week. It's been a day. It's been a minute.
Been a minute.
Right.
It's been a couple months since we did our last podcast.
Mhm.
OMG.
But,
Yeah. You know,
but we're
and to tell
here.
you the truth, if you hadn't said, honestly, Riz, if you hadn't said, let's start back up, it's when do we want to meet? I'd have been like, into September already, just going, what are we missing?
That's okay. It's I mean, because summertime's pretty busy. That's why we've kind of taken a break from stuff, and that's why we're gonna talk about how our summers have been.
Yeah.
But if it is your first time tuning in, welcome. We are glad you're here. If you want to type in the chat and introduce yourself, we'd love to hear from you. But yeah, Girl Talk. This is a safe and open space for us girls to talk about whatever is near and dear to our hearts. This is a live podcast, as you can see, so whatever is said here stays here and also lives on in the land of YouTube. Um, Past episodes, we've talked about International Women's Day, women who have impacted us, and also navigating our experiences with dating and relationships and marriage. Um, so before we get into it, I've been talking a lot, but I also want to introduce the rest of the group here tonight. So I'll have you guys introduce yourself, and then also tell us what music you've been listening to lately. So, what
Ooh.
music have you been listening to lately? And then introduce yourself. Taly, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Taly, or a lot of people say Nat, Taly, Natalie. Either way is fine. So yeah, let me think of music. It's been kind of a weird summer because for this summer I've been going to the Keys a lot, and my cousin is very into rock. So I have actually been listening to a lot of rock lately. We go and see this band, and I'm actually pretty surprised that I know more than what I thought, because at first I'm like, God, I really don't know much, like, many rock songs, or the names of the songs, or who even sings them. So but it's funny that I noticed that I knew more songs than I thought because of my husband listening to rock. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, just can we change this music, please? Let me put my music on. But I'm kind of glad now because, I was actually like, oh, I know this song, or, or I know some of the lyrics, or I knew. And so, yeah, it's been funny because I've been listening a lot more to it now. And so the first time we went, like I said, I didn't know much. And so now the second time we went, I was like, oh, I need to like up my rock a little bit so that when I would go, like, I'd feel like I'd know more and like, sing along more to the songs and whatnot. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot more rock lately
Is it
this
like
summer.
live shows or like
Yeah, it's a live
video?
band. It's a
Okay.
live band.
What's the band called?
It's called
Or what songs do they?
they're called the Dirt Bags.
Ooh.
I like more.
That sounds
Um,
interesting.
and they play in a place we go to called Rick's, down in Key West, and so and they're there like pretty much all the time. Like every like I think even I mean I've gone during the day or during the week and they've been there. I've gone on the weekend, they've been there. So it's kind of like
Ooh,
their
like
place.
more.
They're always same band, same
That sounds
people,
interesting. Okay.
and they play
Do
and
they
they
do, like,
play
covers?
pretty much everything.
Okay. Like
Like they
original.
can do, you can do requests, you know, and they'll sing songs that you know that you request. Sometimes they don't know everything, but I mean they have a pretty wide range. Um, the drummer's pretty cool. He's got like one of these like spiky mohawks.
I would
Um,
expect nothing less from a band called the Dirtbags.
Right, right. But they're
Right.
awesome. They're awesome. They were really cool. They're the one like, lead singer is amazing. You know, sometimes I'm like, I don't know how they do like the screaming stuff, and like, how does that not hurt you? Like, how does that hurt your throat? But you know, I guess that's a style, and it's something that they learn how to do to where you know. But it's pretty cool, and so I've definitely been like listening to more, and my cousin's been showing me a couple more like songs and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I kind of like that song, you know. So she's like, yeah, I'm getting you more into it. And she's like, we're gonna go see more bands, or you know, go to other concerts and stuff. So,
Nice.
but yeah, definitely rock. It's been my music of not really choice, but kind of, you know, it just kind of happened. Like when we've been listening to a lot of rock. Um, so yeah, how about you, Annie? What have you been listening to this summer?
Well, hello everybody. I'm Annie Talks, or Annie Talk Show, aka Annie Talks. I'm well, Taly, you didn't tell us what you do. Do you
She
do
listens to the Dirtbags.
besides listening to the Dirtbags? You didn't tell us about yourself. For those of for those of us that are new, those of you who are new, and Alexa said, we're starting up after about 2 episodes in. We took a little bit of break during the summer to just kind of, you know, let life happen. And if you're new, why don't you tell a little bit about what you do like on the side, and what you do for fun, wifey or Nat?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely a baker for first and foremost. I have taken a little break this summer. I haven't really gotten very many requests to make things, but I did do a couple cakes here and there. I've done some cookies, so I have been, you know, maybe not as busy as normal, but I have been doing baking here and there. But that is something that is my passion. That is something that I've done now for over 10 years. So baking is something that, you know, I enjoy. I don't like to cook at all, but I love to bake.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, and then crafting, of course, is something I love. Anything that I can put my hands on, whether it be jewelry, whether it be painting. I was just sharing with the girls that I've painted some Lilo and Stitch for a teacher recently. I've been working on teacher earrings that have been like all of a sudden very popular, and I've gotten requests for teacher earrings that go along with books. So like I was showing Alexa like corduroy or Clifford the Red Dog, you know, Curious George, those type of things. So I've been doing a lot of that.
They look really good.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
came out pretty cool. A lot of people are like, how did you do that? And I'm like, oh, that's my secret. No. But yeah, I've been doing that. I've been trying to up my Etsy shop and you know, try and put my stuff on there, and gotten into TikTok more too, and you know, put stuff on there too. So yeah, that's pretty much me. I am a mom. I am a stay-at-home mom, so that also helps me have the time and you know, energy to do other things too. And I know that if I was, you know, anywhere near you guys with full-time jobs and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't have the time to do what I do. So I'm very fortunate that I can do that. And so, you know, every time I see something new, I'm always like, ooh, I want to try this, or you know, I can't go to Michael's, that's for sure. Like, I can't go. Like, I've been forbidden. Or Hobby Lobby, either way, it doesn't matter.
Goodness.
But any craft store, like, I can spend hours in there just looking for something cool to do. So, but that's me.
All right. So like I said, Annie Talk Show. I'm a variety streamer. I started doing YouTube content creating years ago. And then I started, I did that for literally 52 weeks. I uploaded one video every single week. So it was daunting. It was debilitating. It was fun, exhilarating, tiring, all that rolled up into one. And then I did podcasting along with my YouTube content creating. I did podcasting and did that for another year. So literally 2 types of content creating a week. And it was, again, very, very, gosh, it just wore me out, honestly. But I knew I wanted to keep doing it, keep streaming somehow. And, I've always said that I wanted to, have a live show of some sort. And then I discovered Twitch. As you guys know, most of you I met on Twitch Sings. So I did that for a year when it was still existing. And then when it went away, we decided to do other things such as gaming and music. And we've kept up the podcast. I brought the podcast over to Twitch and now here to YouTube. So I have had a good run, like a whole almost 6 years straight of streaming and content creating. I'm still doing. I'm still running. Yeah,
you're still doing it right now.
Yeah, I love it. It's my absolute passion. And this week alone, I had 2 other podcasts, which you guys can see on the YouTube channel later at your leisure. So I any chance that I could do a podcast, I'll jump on it. It's like my absolute favorite thing to do. I'm also a gamer. Well, okay. As of about a year ago, I can actually call myself a gamer. Taly and I have learned how to play Valorant. Maybe not well like some others do. And, the more and more I think about it, I'm like, why do I compare myself to some of these guys as to, they've been playing it for years and they're sharpshooters and, they can get one shots off and meanwhile, it takes me my 10 to their 1, So I'm like, I have to stop comparing myself. So yes, I call myself a gamer. By the way, it took me so long to finally get to about Iron 3, you guys, but I'm on Iron 3. I'm on the cusp of becoming Bronze 1, so I'm excited, which is funny because in Valorant. I'm sorry, Valorant. And then, but in the beta, when I play the beta, I'm I'm Bronze 3, so it's really weird. Anyway, so neither here nor there, but yes, that's me in a nutshell. I'm a mom as well. All my kids are grown. I live with my daughter and my dogs, and this is me. And this is my fortress. I come home to this. I play here. I game here. I podcast. I create. I content create here, and this is absolutely my fortress. So I love it, and I'm happy to be here. Alexa, why don't you introduce yourself? And then, music. Okay.
What music have you been listening to lately?
Well, okay. So at work and in my car, I have my radio tuned to 94.7 The Wave, and it's kind of retro and classic stuff that they kind of put together. So a lot of 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Dang, that's retro.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of fun. And honestly, when I'm at work and all these really cool retro songs come on, I sing along. And sometimes I have to stop myself, like, dang it, because people are listening. But hey, I don't care. If they want to listen, hey, have a good time. But and I find myself that it's just fun to be able to kind of relive some of the music from yesteryear and even into some early, like I said, 2000s, and it's makes you feel it's a feel good feeling, and I love it. So I think it's all retro stuff. So to answer your question, retro.
So you said like 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Yeah.
It's like because you're in SoCal, I'm in NorCal, Taly's in
Florida.
Florida. But it's like it sounds like you're talking, is it like kind of like the station that's like they usually play at work kind of thing?
It's like Coast Gone Soul, like Coast 103, like, or if you guys are here, you SoCal folks, it's like the love songs on the coast, as they call it. It's Coast Gone Soul. So it's kind of more on the R&B side, but yet some very classic tunes that they play. So a lot of Al Green, and
Okay. Nice.
and then to Amy Wineheart. Is that her name?
Winehouse.
Winehouse. What did I say? Weinhardt? Wow. So yeah.
Okay.
So kind of everything kind of put in one. So
Mm-hmm.
Alexa, introduce yourself for some of those that don't know who you are.
Sure. So again, my name is Alexa. On Twitch, I'm known as Rizzaline or Riz. I don't really stream, but my husband does. And so the three of us actually are on a podcast with other people as well. So we just like do a bunch of collaborating and like streaming and like things, and we'll talk about it as we go along tonight too. But my background is in like marketing. I work in higher education. But music I've been listening to lately. So I wanted to ask that question because today there were 2 new albums that just dropped. The first one is Calvin Harris. He's like a pop DJ. Lots of good summertime vibe bangers. So I was listening to that when I was in the office by myself today. And then another one is a K-pop girl group called SNSD, or Girls' Generation, and I think it's like their 15th anniversary or something. Because I remember listening to them like 10 years ago. Yeah. But they just dropped an album, really good. So Calvin Harris, Girls' Generation, and I've also been listening to Beyonce's new album. Renaissance.
Okay.
It's good.
I actually only have heard her single, the one single that she released.
Break My Soul.
Yeah.
Yes. What's cool is like I recommend just listening to it straight through because the tracks like transition into each other.
Really? Okay.
Like, yeah, it's like that. You just listen, like it's just it's
one long song.
Yeah. So, Calvin Harris, Girls' Generation, Beyonce. So, yeah. Okay, so as we've said, it's been a while since we've done a podcast, and that's why we decided for today's topic that we would just kind of check in with each other, how things have been. Lots of things have happened. It's summertime. So, yeah. And then again, thank you to everybody in the chat that's here tuning in. We see you, we hear you, and we shout out to you. And then, of course, you guys, we want to continue the conversation, so definitely talk to us in the chat. Yeah, so summer is an interesting time of the year. It's hot.
It's hot.
People are on break. People are going on vacation. And it's like time is just passing. Like it's like we're like more than halfway through the year. But yeah, so how have you guys' summers been so far? In like 3 words or less. How's your summer been?
Okay, my
Hot,
3.
humid,
Yeah, my 3 are hot, irritating.
I feel like it rains every day here, every evening.
Sleepy. No, just kidding.
Lazy. No.
Lazy. For real. I don't sleep much. These guys will tell you I don't sleep much. So when I do sleep, OMG. I go to my car during lunch or during breaks, and I honestly thank God for my timer because I fall into a deep sleep even in 10 minutes. 10 minutes, break time, I fall into a deep sleep, and it's just awful because I don't sleep much. So yeah, but yeah, that's me. I come home and I game, or I come home and I do this, or I come home and we host a lot of things in Discord. So it takes up a lot of my time. And then like last night, I have to really tell myself, okay, stop. I have to stop. And then Taly and all the other folks are like, come play with us. And I'm all, no, I can't. And I really have to force myself not to play. because you guys know that if as soon as I do, I'll stay on, and that's it,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So it's all she wrote. But yeah, what about your summer, Alexa?
I'm trying to I'm trying to think, like, is it busier or is it just always busy? I don't know.
Well, so
So-
you mentioned you went back to work or on campus, yeah?
Well, no. Well, so I mean, my work schedule's been the same. Like, I go into the office 3 days a week, and then I work from home 2 days. That's been the same this whole time. But again, like, I work for a university, so summertime it's a lot. It's way chill. Like, it's work wise, things are gonna pick up because like the school year is gonna be starting. But that's work wise. Like, there's been, I mean, the summer, I think there's been a lot of stuff that's been happening, and like lots of like life update kind of things, and we'll go into that too. So yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm like, it's like, is it always this busy, or is it just that like things are just different? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys, do you feel like it's gotten like busier, or it's kind of the same, or
Well, I want to point something out because ever since wifey moved back to Florida, she's like so busy that sometimes like she can barely be in this. She can barely be in our in Discord playing with us. So then when she's there, it's like, you know, and then we try to catch up in half an hour, and it just can never happen because
Or I
she's
fall
always
asleep 'cause
gone.
I'm so tired after doing other things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been definitely busier in the summer. I think I mean, being in Texas too for 7 years, and being very lonely, you know, not having
Aw.
family and friends. You know, yeah, I had friends, and you know, amazing friends that I made while I was there. But you know, they have their own things too. They have their own families and whatnot, and so summertime's like I'd be like, oh my god, I want to be with my family, you know, watching them do things and hanging out, and my family is very, very close, so they will literally find a reason to party. I mean, that's just how we are. And so, you know, weekends come by and they're like, so what are you doing? So what are we doing? You know, where are we going? What are we doing? You know, and so like we just came back from the Keys, and the next day we went to SeaWorld, which that was just kind of a thing that we just decided to do out of nowhere. But you know, and I gotta say, those plans like that, when they're not planned, sometimes they're like the best ones.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we had so much fun, and you know, it turned out perfect, and you know, we all had an amazing time. And then just yesterday, you know, family was like, hey, let's all go to my cousin's pool. So, you know, we go to the pool, we hang out, and you know, we're out there till midnight, 1 o'clock, and we're still just chilling. So I mean, that's how our family is. So yeah, I've definitely been doing a lot more, which is good for me because, you know, again, I missed it for so long, and I like being active, and I like staying active as much as I can. So, you know, it's you know, it's kind of what we do, and I like hosting. I have people, you know, we had people over here, or you know, go over there, or you know, and you know, but now it's like it's getting to that point where school's gonna start, and I'm like, no, I don't want it to end, you know.
Aw, yeah.
So
you sound like
we'll
you're the
have
one that's going
weekends,
to
right?
school.
I know, but then it's kind of like that though, right? Because
Yeah.
I stopped to wake up early now because I have to, you know,
Oh,
make sure my son
no.
gets up for
True.
school. You know, then when he comes home, I have to sit down with her homework, and so it even though I'm not the one going to school, but you know, you still kind of, you know, have to change up that routine that, you know, and it's gonna be hard because even my son is you know, going to bed late and waking up whenever, and so I know it's gonna hit him when he starts going back to school, that he's gotta, you know, go to bed early and wake up early, and you know, all that fun stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of like, oh man, I don't want to. I'm kind of glad because it's like, okay, go to school. Let me get a break. But then
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, it's definitely true. I definitely feel like it's a lot busier in the summer because that too. You know, you think about it during the weekdays when everybody is in school and stuff, and work and whatnot. I'm just home, and so And people are like, "Oh no, I can't do it. I can't do it during the week because I have to wake up. My kids have school, so we can't really hang out."
School night, yeah.
Right, that type
I
of thing.
know.
So
And all
it does
businesses
change.
close too early, like the fast food places and restaurants close
Hmm.
early too. And I was like, come on. Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Yep. So it is definitely, I think, a little busier now. And then sometimes I'm like, I just want to go home and I want to play, but the family's like, come on, let's hang out. So
Yeah.
but
I like that though. I know, like, I, that's kind of what I want. Like, so I'm like at a different point where like I, like, kind of newly married and like, like we're adjusting to like all the family dynamic stuff and like
Right.
our families are here in the area, but it's I don't know. It's just it's not we're not like hanging out every weekend. Well, I mean, at one point, kind of were, and I will talk about that. Lots of crazy stuff, but yeah. I mean, it's like I miss that. Like just those or like the late night hanging out and just like shooting the
mhm,
shit and just talking about
Yeah.
whatever and
yeah.
I feel.
and it's like
Mhm.
oh, go ahead.
No, I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like we're moving so far east, further and further east, away from the beach, away from from the group of the nucleus, basically,
Okay.
that it's so hard for all of us to get together, or if there's an occasion, we just kind of
Like with your family.
yeah, like if it's Mother's Day or Father's Day, whatever, we just basically kind of FaceTime each other and hi, and that's it, because we're so far from each other. We're about an hour or so ish away from each other that it's really, really hard for us to get together, even if we wanted to. And then, with and we'll talk about this too, but my oldest daughter just got married and her baby. So it's like, it's hard for all of us. You can't just pick up and go and just gather.
Yeah.
No longer are the backyard, parties a thing for at least me and my family,
Yeah.
because we're so far. Nobody wants to come out here and see us except for maybe Mickey and Ralph. Just kidding. They're the only ones, and Johnny once in a while. But they're the only ones that come out and see me. But
Johnny.
meanwhile, nobody else does, like in my own family. So it's like so
Right.
sad.
Yeah.
So
I feel that.
Mhm.
It's okay. Yeah, because I guess we can. It sounds like we're getting into life updating things. So
Yeah,
let's-
yeah.
Let's get into it.
okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I think that's definitely something about this past summer so far too. Is like it does feel different. Like maybe some of it too is because we're still kind of recovering or in the midst of all the pandemic stuff and like we haven't been seeing people for so long and now we're like getting back into it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of I don't know.
I kind of felt with my family that didn't really happen.
You're just like,
They were
"Whoop."
like, COVID, what? Like,
Yeah,
we're,
right.
we're still gonna hang out. We're still gonna party. We'll wear masks.
Yeah.
We'll
I
have
mean, that's-
alcohol and hand sanitizer. We're good.
It's like I feel like Taly, you said before, like your family, they're all kind of close, like
We are.
like nearby, right?
Yeah. Like,
Like,
I could
near-
literally walk to my cousin's house. Like, she's right
Right.
there. So, and to drive to my mom's house is a good maybe 8 or 9 minutes. I mean, it's not really
Okay.
anything crazy. So we
Yeah.
are very, very close
In
around each
proximity.
other. And, there's so many of us. So there's always a birthday. There's always,
Yeah.
celebrating something. And then again, like I said, sometimes there's not even a reason. We just hang out. And I mean, it could be like the dumbest things, like, oh, hey, you want to go to Walmart? Like, hey, yeah, let's go. It's like, and we'll do things like we cannot do things alone. Like there's somebody around. There's always like one of us is with somebody. But I miss that. I so miss that. Being in Texas and
Aw.
stuff. I was like, was so used to it, and sometimes like even explaining it to my husband, like he doesn't get it. Like, why can't you just go by yourself? And I'm like, oh, I
Really?
don't want to. It's more fun with somebody else.
Yeah.
And then
you know?
that's like you said, it's like your mom and then like your cousin.
Right.
So it's like, and it's kind of like your, was it like your mom's side of the family
It's more
mostly?
my mom's side of the family. Yeah, my
Okay.
dad's
Okay.
side of the family is very, very, very small, and there's literally like no one left.
Oh no.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah, there isn't. I have like two cousins that are left that are my dad's side of the family.
Okay.
Um, and so, which is a reason I never changed my last name. When I got married, I never changed it because I'm literally one of the last ones from my dad's side of the family. So
Um,
from my mom's side, there's tons. Like,
yeah.
I go to Puerto Rico, and every time I go, they're like, "Oh, this is your new cousin that you've never met before." Like, okay. Like every time I go, I meet someone new. So it's a really, really big, big, big family on my mom's side, and so
Okay.
there's always someone to hang out with. You know, there's always someone to do something with, and a lot of my cousins are very um, close to my age. I'm probably one of the oldest, I think, in the group of cousins and stuff. I babysat most of the cousins, so a lot
Oh,
of them look up to me. But you kind of um, as they grow older, right? You kind of like start like hanging out with them, even though they're younger than you, but you don't feel like they are. Like I feel
that's
like
me.
I'm younger than my age.
That's I'm the cousin.
Yeah, like I do. And then sometimes I have to think about it, like, damn, you know what? Like they are a lot younger than me, but we don't think about it that way. We don't see it that way at all. So
Because
and
time is.
we're all moms. We all have kids, and so we're all kind of in that same boat. And we help each other a lot, and that's why I'm also very thankful that I have them nearby. Because if anything, this summer, like if we wanted to go on a date night, or if we want to go do something, my husband and I, or whatever, like the kids, they get together and they have their own little group. You know what I mean? There's so many kids, so
Okay.
um, and families right there that it's easy. When we were in Texas, it was very hard for us to do that, because
Yeah.
there was no one around.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely cool that everybody's like right there.
Around. Yeah. And then Annie, you said that with your family, it's kind of like they're like an hour
Oh
plus
my
ish
gosh.
away.
That's just my immediate family an hour away. Okay. But that's not even counting like for second and third cousins and aunts and uncles are even farther
Wow.
away. Put it this way, when my daughter got married, it was a whole to do, to have the whole family come from
It
San
was in like
Diego.
May.
Yeah, it was in May and it was the dead of heat. And we kept looking at the forecast. My daughter was like, "Oh my god, it's going to be 97 the day we get married." I'm like, and you know what? I didn't want to tell her, but I couldn't breathe that day cuz it was
Oh.
so hot.
Oh
Were
no.
you stressing out?
I mean, I already get stressed out anyways because I have my dad's
Yeah.
freaking
You do.
perspiration genes. He has
Feel
he has
feel that.
he perspired. My dad perspired profusely. So during the wedding, I was already hot to begin with, or already sweating to begin with. Then coupled with the weather at 97 degrees, and then coupled with the wedding being outside,
Ooh.
I was miserable, literally
That's a regular
miserable.
day here. It's 97 degrees.
Yeah, I mean, no, but it wasn't. It was like, now remember, we live in the desert, so we're not near. Well, where I live
Yeah.
now, we're not near the beach, but where I used to live, we were by
Right.
the beach. But even by
A dry
yeah,
heat.
but even though we are still by the beach or we're close to the beach, it's still dry heat. Now, mind you, okay, it's a little TMI, y'all. So close your ears, you guys. During the wedding, I went all natural because it was so hot that you go to the store and you buy those little petals for your thingy.
Yeah.
Pasties.
Pasties.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Nice.
That's what I
It
want.
was like, let them be
Oh
free.
Yes,
my.
and I wore the
Nice.
sheerest boy shorts, or it was more like a shaper, more or less, and that was it. Underneath, it was so hot, so hot.
Did you wear like a
Wow.
floor length dress kind of?
It was a kind of
situation?
formal, and it
Mhm.
was like it was yeah, it was a floral pattern, white and floral pattern, more or less, and just so I can match the wedding party a little bit. But yeah, I mean, thank God for pasties. That's all I'm gonna say, because that was, you know,
Right.
there was just
It
no
works.
way. If I would have,
I
if
feel
I
that.
had to wear pantyhose or a bra, let's say, if I had to wear
So many
any,
layers.
no, mm, no, it was
Funny.
bad. But yeah, and the fact that I felt bad because it was outdoors, but everybody migrated indoors because of the AC. And I know she, you
Mhm.
know, she wanted it to be. It was really pretty. It was really pretty. And
Like
she,
the reception was like outdoors also.
the wedding and the reception were at the same place, and she only
Okay.
had 8 round tables. You know, the lights with the really big bulbs that they have outside. You
Mhm.
know, that whole thing. It was really pretty. It really, really was. It's just that there was only one big gigantic AC inside the hall, and that's where everybody was. So every time you would go into the hall, that's where you see everybody was. And she
Mhm.
also had a game room, believe it or not, because my husband, my daughter, and her husband are gamers. That's how they first met. So they actually set up a screen with a
Nice.
Oh my
PlayStation, or
gosh.
I'm sorry, not a PlayStation, with I think it was their
Switch or
Nintendo
something.
Switch, and they were doing a
Nice.
Mario tournament at the
Nice.
wedding. So yeah.
How
Nice.
funny.
Yeah, but yeah, to families all spread, and I feel like we're getting farther and farther east. We'll probably be in Vegas pretty soon. So,
Shoot, in this economy,
yeah,
might as well,
you know,
honestly.
Right?
Nice.
I feel like we're just constantly trying to, look for um, not low income housing per se, but just
Affordable.
reasonable rent, affordable rent.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the farther
I
we go
feel
east, we seem to be finding it.
yeah.
Right.
I everything that you guys are all saying, I'm like, yep, same. Me too.
Mhm.
um, so I mean, because from my family, so it's like my mom's side, and I'm in the Bay Area. I think, and I'm close to like my mom's side, so this would be like my mom's, like, as like her aunts and uncles, and then my mom's cousins,
Mm.
and then their kids is me. Um, and um, well, so one of the things that happened this summer is my my great my great aunt had passed away. So
Oh.
she's my mom's aunt. Yeah, so that and that it was interesting because like leading up to that, I had also like reconnected with some of my aunts and just like had lunch or dinner with them and hung out. And
Mhm.
so I'm like the niece to the old ones that are kind of older, like to like Tally's kind of Gen ish. But
Mhm.
um yeah, and it was sudden, I guess. Like I mean, I think she's like 89. But like they gave her, they said like this, she has this much time left, and then she wanted to pass in her house, and
Oh.
in San Francisco. And it was really interesting because every like that's the house where everybody would go for the family parties. And but that, I think that's the first time in a long time that a lot of people like had gathered. And it's just, I mean, we're getting into like some like in different things, but like she chose to pass away in the house. It's
Mhm.
like it was some crazy stuff. um but it was just also very interesting because like a lot of my aunts were saying, they're like, there's no more kids running around in the house, because I was the
Mhm.
kid that was like running around in
Aw,
the house.
yeah.
And and it's just, and yeah, there's people that live further away, and it takes people are going like an hour, 2 hours out in order to get together. So
This
there
is
was,
this is your great aunt, or
yes, so my mom's dad's sister.
okay, mom's. Okay,
Mom's
yeah.
dad's,
Mom's
yeah.
dad's
Well, because it's like, if for
sister.
Filipino, we
Yeah,
just say they're like our grandma,
yeah.
because it's just that generation,
Pretty much,
right?
yeah,
We just say
yeah,
grandma, like,
yeah.
but if you wanted to make it all technical. So yeah, and it was just a very interesting, crazy, like that week I was going there because I live like 30 minutes from San Francisco. Like, it's just across the water. So I was going there like pretty much like every other day, and just like to be together and just support, and a lot of family drama and things about money and property and wills and things get brought up, and it's just
Right.
it's bleh.
Great.
But yeah, it was, and it's, I mean, definitely like word of advice to people, like it's helpful to get that stuff sorted out. Like it's never too early to like plan out who gets what, or what you want people to do when it comes time.
Oh my God.
It's a tough conversation or thing to deal with, but like yeah, I mean, and it's just, I don't know, it depends. Some people's families deal with it differently than others, and but it was crazy. And then in the midst of that, my my brother also, he let me know that he was gonna get married. So like him and his, well, now they're married, so like they just did like the civil ceremony, but it was just like within like a month or two, he was just like, we're gonna get married, and it's like, okay. So, I was like, this is just, so when you're talking about like wedding and like how it was hot during the summer, it wasn't like a big like ceremony, but I also feel you, because it was a summertime wedding. But
so tell us who's in this picture.
Okay, so yeah, that's the picture. So going from left to right, that's my brothers are twins. They're younger than me. So that's Carlo, his girlfriend Lynn. That's my dad. Then Junia, and then Paulo, the ones that just got married. Then me, and then that's my husband, Daniel. TJB.
Good looking dude, the far right.
And then this was in Oakland. There's a Lake Merritt, and they had their civil ceremony in Oakland, and then we just went and took pictures. And then it was funny too, because literally like Monday, so my brother told me they were going to get married, and I had to keep that to myself for a while because he didn't tell my dad or my brothers.
Oh my.
Yeah. And then he told them, and then I was also just telling my relatives while I was visiting them when my aunt was passing. But for real, like, so timeline is, my brother told me he was going to get married, and then he told my brothers. We find out my aunt's passing. I'm with my family for a couple days, and then my aunt passes in the home. That was July 3rd. Next day is July 4th, which was a Monday,
right.
and we had a picnic with Paulo and Junia. We basically met my brother's wife's family for the first time.
Wow.
Monday, and had a picnic, and then that Friday they got married.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
It's and then like the weekend after that was like my great aunt's funeral, so it was just like,
wow,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of emotions, I bet, up and downs.
Yes. Lots of emotions.
It's a good thing we took some time off, right?
I had to process.
Yeah.
I had to process. I had to talk to my therapist, and then I think my therapist had COVID, so I was just going through it.
OMG.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
But she's fine now, but what was funny about that day is I had these I had these heels, and we were like running late already, and I'm like kind of running to the next place. We actually went to like the wrong location first.
Oh no.
We went to like City Hall, but it's at a different building.
Oh,
it's a mess.
Yeah.
And like I realized like my heels broke. Like they were like not the heel, but like the foot. Like, because I just haven't worn those heels in a long time.
The soles?
No.
Like the the part of the part of the
yeah.
It fell apart.
Oh no.
It was just, it was a mess.
Were you limping?
No, I was just barefooted. I was
Oh, there you
walking
go.
barefoot in the streets of Oakland. It was like, what the heck?
Oh my goodness. Hey,
That's
right? You make do.
but yeah, it was just very interesting because it was like celebrating, but also like um there's like the grief and just like being there with
Yeah.
my family. I think there's the did we show the other picture too where with me as a little kid
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
that
Here,
with
I'll show it
with my
again.
great aunt?
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, we'll show
Okay,
that one more
cool.
time.
I didn't get to
Little
but
you.
yeah. It's just
What's
like
your
the
great aunt's name?
her name was Librada.
Oh.
But they called her Libring or
Okay.
Libby.
Libby.
So like
okay.
kind of like Liberty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that's the OG generation, and they're getting older and they're passing, and therefore we are also getting older, and people are getting married, and
Hey,
life is happening.
I have to say, familiar haircut there.
It's the China babe,
Oh,
China doll babe.
goodness gracious! What
That's
did
so
they?
cute,
Did they all have the
though.
same kind of hairs? All have the same kind of scissors. These family. Goodness gracious, the bowl haircut. Goodness, I had that too. But you're
Johnny in the chat. He's
Yeah.
like, is she timing you out in this photo? You know what? Probably, because she was that kind of person. Like, she don't give a f. Like,
So
she
you're
just
gonna sit on my lap. You're gonna stay right here.
Yeah.
Don't move.
she's like hella blunt and like hella honest and like
just try and move.
Sorry.
You just try
Oh
and
my
move. You're not
She-
going to go anywhere.
that's probably what it was. Yeah.
Ooh, good time to take a photo.
Yeah.
Aw,
That's what happened.
That's what
It's
happened.
crazy.
Well,
But
I appreciate you
What?
sharing that. Thanks for sharing.
yeah.
As with life, you go through a series of emotions, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, and you know what they say. If there's anything constant, or if there's anything for certain, is death and taxes. And
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. But your great aunt she lived a full life. How old was she again?
I think like 89.
Yeah, man, that's a full life, you know?
It's
up there, but
complex,
yeah.
complex woman, complex family dynamics,
Mhm.
but family, man,
Yeah, but you know,
it's crazy.
if she's anything like my grandmothers, or you know, the elderly Filipinos, or anybody actually, you know, they hold on to so much, you know what I mean? And then when life catches up to you and you just kind of, it's your time to go, you know, it's what's the word? It's not liberating, because it's not necessarily liberating, but hey, that's her name, liberato.
Yeah.
But it's I guess release, or
Yeah.
you know, right? And I think
Yeah.
it for everybody, everybody process things differently. I'm not a therapist. I don't even pretend to be a therapist.
We're not experts.
We're not experts, but we do go through emotions, right? So I mean, you went through a series of emotions there, from elation, celebration, to, you know, a different kind of celebration, later more somber. But, you know, as with life, you just go through a series of emotions, man. And sometimes these emotions can test you. I know. So, but
Yeah.
you know,
And like, I mean, what was also helpful is just that like we all like banded together. Like my brothers and I, like we support each other, like my cousins and like
right.
my aunts. Like, I mean, we try to be there for each other.
Yeah.
But it's also like, what's tricky too is like, you know, we're all so connected to people, but it's also like, I mean, we need our space a lot of times too. We need time to take a nap.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
We need time to get some gaming on and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So,
I get it.
yeah.
Mhm.
I get it. Well,
But
you know, great updates. Now, I don't know how much you want to share, but I know that there's also some more life updates on more immediate for you because DJ just graduated from college. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My marriage.
Come
That's
on
right.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't forget that.
What
So
was-
yeah.
Okay, what was also funny was my other great aunt. She was like, because I was staying like late at the house with my relatives and stuff, and she was like, "Your husband, like, does he know where you are? Like, are you, like, he's not worried about you?"
Not to worry.
And I'm like, "No, he's fine." Like, but she kept asking me, and it's like I wanted to be like, "No, my marriage is in shambles. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta save my marriage."
You go home to your
I
husband.
get you though, because that happens to me because I'm always out and about and I'm always with the family.
Yeah.
And so they're always like, doesn't your husband ask about you? Like what? And why doesn't he? And I'm like, man, he's at home, happy that he's in peace and quiet.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
he could
He got
game
the
and
house to
dream.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm good. He's like, you know.
Men are that way. They're pretty docile, you know. They're like, just leave me alone. Leave me with the can of beer. Leave me with my drink. Leave me with my
Right.
games. I'm good. Yeah. True that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So good.
but yeah,
Congratulations
he-
on congratulations, DJ. And I know he also has a really good opportunity that just came up too. So I don't know how much of that you want to share.
yeah, no,
but-
yeah. I mean, he graduated, and then in the midst of that, he also got a job offer and started his job.
Nice.
So we're depending on how things go with his job, like if he has to go back into the office soon, then we'd
Mhm.
have to like move and
Right.
do that. So it's like there, after there's one thing, there's like
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
it's just
Never
and
ending, right?
it doesn't end.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, and I don't know. My thing is just like moving is a lot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like
I know.
Taly, you moved and you
Yeah,
took everything, and
I know.
it's a lot of work. So.
It definitely is.
Oh my god! I think we both did, right? You and you,
Yeah, it was around the
Taly.
same time.
Yeah, I think it was you, me, our other friend Phoenix, and our other friend Jay, all at the same time
Ah.
moved
Okay.
separately to
Yep.
different places, but all around the same times, all around the like
Oh.
October, November-ish time frame.
Mhm.
I just remember we were all like, "Oh, in my house, this. Oh, and it's not ready, that." So yeah, a lot of that, a lot
Yeah.
of camaraderie when it came to, or support when it came to our moves, more or less. So
Mhm.
yeah, but
'Cause
yours
it's-
was cross country for sure. I mean, from Texas to
Oh, that it was. I mean, and I did it.
Mm-hmm.
From Florida to Texas was easy because back then my husband was in the army, so they come and they do everything for you. You literally just sit there watching them. They pack everything. They don't even let you pack. They don't let you touch
Wow.
anything because everything is written down. Everything's on a list, and they have to make sure that they know what's in each box, and they are the ones that pack it for you. You know?
Right.
So
And you don't know what it's like, because it's your stuff, and like you need to know.
Right.
What,
no, like sometimes I was like, where the heck did they put this? Or where did they put that? You know? And
Yeah,
even
you-
though it's all written down, but they don't tell you which box is what. Like they don't say your living room, but I mean there'll be like 10 boxes that say living room, and you don't know, what's in each box. So
Yeah.
but they did that, and then they just took it. So they put it in one of those huge semis. And then when we moved again in Texas, but from one area to Austin, Texas, they did it again. So we didn't have to do anything. So when we moved from Texas back to Florida, it was like, oh wow, now we have to do it on our own, and you live somewhere. I don't know. I don't care how long you live there. You always accumulate stuff, right? It's
Yeah.
like we were like in an empty apartment, and you just keep accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. It's so true, and then I'm like, when we go to move, I'm like, why do I have all this crap?
Yeah.
Like,
that's gonna be me.
and especially that I craft. So people, and like my husband says, like, oh, you are a hoarder because you like to keep everything. But I'm always like, oh, but I could use this for something. Or I could make something out of this. So I do, and then like I'll have like tons and tons of boxes that are literally just craft, And so my husband will say like it's crap, not craft.
Oh
But
man.
that's, I know, right?
Stop it.
But yeah, it's true though. You accumulate so much, and you go to move, and it's like, and we still got rid of so much stuff, and even still, we had to move. I mean, we did get movers and have to move everything over here, but yeah, it was a lot. Like especially, coming here and not having a house yet. Having to stay with my parents for a bit. While we continued looking for housing and until we finally found one. So, and even still now, like it's been since November-ish, and it's definitely not where we want it to be yet. Like we still want to work on the house. We still want to, organize and make things better, especially with all my stuff. So, like I still feel like I don't have enough space.
Oh no.
Like for my baking, for my crafting, for my stuff, I'm like, God, we went from an apartment to a house and I still feel like I don't have enough space. So yeah, it is a lot. It is a lot. But if you have to do it, I feel like change is always good, and gives you a reason to go through the stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get rid of things that you don't use,
Yeah.
So it is always good.
Yeah. Well, I think we can take a pivot now. So
Okay.
we've talked about a lot of life things, moving and things that about family. I'm trying to come up with like some kind of good like segue to transition into the next thing.
Sure.
But I can't think of
Just-
anything. But
Doesn't matter. Just be
another-
abrupt.
another thing that's kept us busy this summer is a lot of things in our gaming community world.
Oh, right.
So there was a tournament that happened
Uh-huh.
that my husband put together.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because usually he's the one in front of the camera doing the talking, and I'm the one in the room just like hiding, and now he's there. But yeah, so there was a tournament. There was a Valorant tournament. Have you guys also like been playing any other games? Starting any other new games?
Well, we actually we had wow, English, Annie. Some of us were fortunate to sign up for the beta for Overwatch 2, and then some of us were just did not have the patience and bought it, spent $40 on it. Not me, but some of us were fortunate to get the beta, and we tested that out, and I actually enjoyed it so much. Overwatch 2 versus Overwatch 1, and some people were pocket divaing me, if that's a thing, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed playing the beta, and I'm really looking forward to when it comes out in October. I think it is. Yeah. So
I gotta say, I enjoyed playing the beta, but I played Overwatch yesterday, and I like that my character is the way that he is and not the way it was in the beta.
Oh, in the beta. I know, it's funny because when you guys said
I'm like,
that,
why they gotta mess with my character? Leave him alone.
but
They like made him different, and like he has other ability or whatever, and I'm like, that's not the same character.
Oh
Like, I
my
didn't like
God.
that they did that.
hey, that's a good idea, Johnny. Johnny said Phasmo para tournament. That's a freaking good idea. Maybe we should host one. Johnny, that's you and I talk. No, just kidding. Let's host one.
That would be fun, though.
That would be
Your
fun.
brainstorming.
And there are
This is why
some
we brought you all here.
there's some new stuff on Phasmo too that we've been playing recently. So a lot of well, first of all, I'm not a big fan of, I mean, I know the paranormal exists and whatnot, but I'm not a fan in that, I'm of the caliber where I don't want to mess with it because I don't want it messing with me, that kind of stuff. But I know that there's there's even cursed objects. There's the Ouija board, or the voodoo dolls that happen within Phasmo that I'm like, oh, hell to the no, hell to the end. Oh, you will not find
just a
me.
game.
No,
It's not
no.
real.
I make Taly go do it. And other people are like, no, you guys
I
can
don't
go.
mind. I'm not scared of it. I don't. It's weird though because I do not watch scary movies. You can ask anyone that knows me. I do not watch scary. Like I've never even seen like some of these movies, old movies like Chucky or like any of them. I just never ever watch. If I watched a scary movie, it's because I went to someone's house and they were watching it on TV, and I wasn't gonna be like take it off. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so kind of forced to watch. But really, other than that, I don't watch it. So playing Phasmo, it was very weird to me that I wasn't scared like that. At first, I was scared, but now after playing it for so long, like it doesn't faze me anymore. I guess because I feel like since it's a game and I know that it's a game,
Yeah, there's kind of that like layer of disconnect.
Right.
and I also feel like because it's very repetitive too. So you kind of know what to expect. You know what you're doing. You know what to go into the room and use this equipment and do this and do that and find the ghost. Yes, it may not be always the same outcome, or sometimes we die in the game, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we all survive. Sometimes we all die and we can't even find the ghost. So it does happen
Yeah.
to us. But I guess I don't know. In my head, I guess because knowing that it's a game, like it doesn't really scare me. In the beginning it did, but now I think like after a while we've gotten used to it.
In the beginning, it
I mean, I
for
remember
sure
Annie
did.
couldn't even do the tutorial. And I was like, Annie, the ghost isn't gonna do anything. And she's like, I can't in. And she would stay right outside the door, calling him from outside the door.
I peed in my pants twice that night. Look, that was just the tutorial.
Right?
Oh,
That
my
wasn't even the real
goodness.
game. And now they have the nightmare
Oh my
version of
god.
it that I haven't even played, so I don't even know how hard it is to play with that.
I think Johnny, or not Johnny, Highbine once put it in nightmare mode and nobody knew it. He just picked it. Like he randomly picked a place for us, and then he randomly, like quickly picked nightmare mode. We didn't even get a chance to see what he did. Next thing you know, we were at the campsite, and literally just like left and right, just dropping like flies. And I'm like, at one point, we did the campsite twice, and at one point when we all walked out, it was almost like we were all lined up like Valorant. We're all lined up, and he got like four of us. I'm like, or three of us. I'm like, what in the living heck just happened? What happened?
I guess in that, and probably in that mode, they can kill multiple
Yes.
at once.
Yes.
Because in the other modes, they can only kill one at a time.
Yeah.
It was weird. So yeah, there's a lot, and then I think there's Johnny had mentioned that there's a lot more ghosts. I don't know about 50.
Yeah, there are.
Oh,
There are
hello,
definitely
Voodoo.
more.
Oh yeah, and a nightmare mode, the ghost hunted until everyone died. I'm telling you, you guys, nightmare mode was a nightmare. Literally a nightmare. It was so freaking scary, and now I'm not gonna lie. I admit I do like to stay. Get me when I say this. I don't stay in the van all the time. People, contrary to what people say, I don't stay in the van all the time. I will go at least 2 or 3 times back and put stuff down, put the equipment down, go get a reading if I have to, look at different. Yeah, I will participate, but then I will go to the van. But the only time I will stay in there in the ghost or in the house or in the building longer is when we have to lower our sanities.
Where she has
Where
to.
I
do it,
have
she goes in
to.
there.
Yeah, and I'll go hide
It-
in a room or something.
Keep that sanity.
Yeah, it's pretty
Stay as
funny.
sane as possible.
It's-
Yeah.
So I'm hearing Overwatch, I'm hearing Phasmophobia, and then
Valorant, of
you
course.
and then Valorant.
Yes.
So you guys, who I think Annie, you played and you shoutcasted in the
No, okay, so
Bam Bam tournament, or
well, the first Fam Bam tournament that we ever participated in was the OCE. When I say we, meaning our squad, we named Guardian 7, and then there's some of us that repeated from the first tournament to the second tournament. The second tournament, I did not play. stepped down from playing, and I ended up coaching. Plus, I shoutcasted. So, if I could be so kind as to show a photo from that, this is our team. This is our squad right here, called Guardian 7 or G7. And let me see. Now I got to go back and look. This was
So this was the previous tournament, not the most recent one.
right. This was this is the one that DJB hosted. So of course, up at the top left is DJ himself. Hi Bye was one of our teammates or one of the team members. Mickey, is that Mickey? I can't even see my own pictures. Mickey, and then of course Ray next door was the other co-caster or co-host. Voodoo on the middle there left. Wonders, second to him, next to him, myself, and I think that's Koi. Koi's my daughter, Koi Mayari.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Koi, and then Phoenix, who's Danny, who's getting married tomorrow, by the way. Congratulations, Danny. And Papa Smurf, or Papa Soap is what we call him. So yeah, we had a really, I thought we had a really good team. You know, we kind of threw them in. The first game we threw them in, and we kind of wanted to test the waters, and we knew some things weren't working, so I made an executive decision and switched some 2 players out, and then we swapped in some of the ringers, so to speak, and they brought us back to almost even. I think we gave them a really good run for their money, and we almost came out winning that second game, but we were super close. We gave them a good run for their money, but we were eliminated in that first match. So, and then from that point, all I did was cast, and DJ's like, "Can you handle the interviews?" I'm like, "Sure, it's right up my alley." So yeah, it was a lot. I had a lot of fun shoutcasting. It was one of my favorite things to do during the summer, at least this past summer, and a lot of preparation. I know that DJ worked a lot on some of the behind the scenes, and we were trying to put a video together. We went to OT. Yep, yeah, that's right. Yeah, oh my gosh, we went. Did we go to 2 OTs? I think it was two overtimes, and I felt like we got them shaking in their boots a little bit until we got eliminated. So, but yeah, nonetheless, it was really a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun with these guys. It was really hard, challenging to schedule practices during the week because everybody's schedules and whatnot. But nonetheless, I think it worked out really well. I think everybody enjoyed their time. I felt like this Bam Bam's production team was really on point, from the artwork to the Discord maintenance. With Hi Bye being one of the mods in the Discord, and then really just kind of the new ideas that DJ was throwing out there, the interviews, the videos, the highlight reels and whatnot. So a lot of that. And I think something that he introduced this Bam Bam were the team logos. So that was really nice. I thought it was a really good touch. Yeah. So that there's definite. Yeah. I mean, I thought there was some really good things that came from this Bam Bam. But I think the next Bam Bam is in a week or so. We did not enter G7 into this tourney because we wanted a break, and also because our lag or our VP, if we go through VPN, our lag would be our ping would be outrageous. There's just no way. And I think we tried that in the first tournament, and it was horrible.
Yeah, because from my understanding, so it's like a Valorant tournament that's been hosted. I think the other time it was hosted by Ray Next Door, and she's in Australia.
Right.
So it's like people in the US playing in Australia, or the servers
Australian servers, yeah.
And so it gets funky. Because does it even get tricky just like playing in the US with like people in different time zones and?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, yeah, because we are different. Obviously, with different time zones here. What, three 3, sometimes 2 or 1 hour difference here in the US, let alone the OCE servers where we're like upwards of
That's
12 to
totally, yeah,
17
totally.
hours ahead. So yeah, that's
Right.
very, very challenging. Um, and then not to mention, like you said, the V, or if you're using their VPN, or if you're just the lag or the ping was I I think at
The
one point
internet
Voodoo,
working extra hard.
yeah, Voodoo, we call him the Odin King, right? So when he was trying to even just use his Odin, and if he was lagging with the Odin, then you knew if he was at lagging using the Odin, then the rest of us would have never have a chance, because using regular guns, it wasn't even worth it. But it was, yeah, I mean, there would be one point where you think you're shooting at something, and next thing you know, you're starting the next round. What just happened? I don't even know if I shot.
Yeah.
Was I shooting? Hey,
Right.
Ray.
We were just talking about
We
you.
were just talking about you. We wanted to talk. We were just talking about the next next Fam Bam tourney, which is going to be held at in the OC by you, OCE server
Orange
by
County.
you, Orange County.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that I had a lot of fun during this last tournament. Shoutcasting was a little difficult because I wish I knew the players better. You know what I mean? I felt like in order for me to know them well and have maybe just somewhat of an intelligent opinion about how in the way in which they were, their play styles, I had to know them a little bit better. By the second and third round or matches or days rather, I felt like I was better. So the first time I was like deer in the headlights. Yeah. So but thank you guys, everybody here was very, very patient with me. I appreciate it. Thank you DJ for the opportunity, and Ray next door, such a lovely co-caster and co-host. We had a lot of fun. Girl power. Yeah.
So Overwatch, Phasmophobia, Valorant. Are there any other games that you guys are playing, or any that you're like looking forward to playing? Or
I do.
yes, tell us.
Yeah, do tell.
So Annie actually played this game with me once or twice, and I guess she didn't really get into the game like me, but the game Raft.
I knew you were gonna
Right.
say that.
Yes, they just put out their final chapter not too long ago, and I still haven't played.
Oh,
Again, I've been so
no.
busy with family and whatnot, but
I'll play with you. I'll play
I
with you
want
one
to
day.
play the final chapter so bad, and see what it's about. I've seen a couple people playing on Twitch and here and there, and I've seen a little bit, like little things here and there, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to play. So I'm looking forward to that one. I wanna see what happens at the end. We've been playing it for so long, and we take big breaks. Like my sister and I play a lot, and we will take
On the
breaks
Switch,
here and
right?
there. And
On the Switch?
no, it's on PC.
On PC. Okay.
Yeah. We would play together. We started with like literally the first level, the first level, and like with this like I don't know, tiny little square that you stand on, and adding to it, and now we've got like 3 floors and like all kinds of stuff on our raft. And we've the last time we played, we pretty much got caught up, so we were waiting for this next part to come out. So it finally came out now, the final chapter, and it's like, I wonder what's gonna happen, at the end. Like, what's the ending gonna be? So,
Oh, so it like released
Go ahead.
in like parts?
yeah, definitely.
How many parts? It released in like different parts?
Yeah. So the
How
first
many
chapter, so it's kind of funny how that game works. So the first time you play, you're really only trying to survive, basically. There's a shark in the water. The shark comes and eats your raft every time you try to build it. So you have to like run and like hit it or like stab it or whatever, but like you don't have all the tools yet to be able to even stab it, because you haven't accumulated the tools to even make that yet. So it's in the beginning, it's more about survival, and it's more about building your raft in the beginning of the game. But then as you progress, the next chapter is where you really start finding these huge islands. And so now you're getting off the raft, you're exploring the islands. There's new animals. as you hunt these animals, now you're using their skin or bones or whatever for other objects and other things you can build. So again, it's all survival um, type of game. But each chapter, there was like, now there's another island to explore. There was a city that like was like a lost city or whatever that we were able to explore. There was an abandoned cruise ship, I believe, that had like these enormous rats running around that
This is
would chase you.
It's a
And
lot.
so-
It's a lot like Gilligan's Island. If they can build all these things, why can't you get off the dang island, y'all? Come on.
And it's interesting because every time you would land on an island, like you'd find like scattered notes, but of course the notes help you to continue like the storyline. So it'll say like, I was here, and there's a key that you need to be able to find blah blah blah, whatever it is. And so you'd have to like be like, okay, there's a key somewhere, so now you're looking for like some kind of key. And you've got animals chasing you, you've got a bird throwing a rock over your head, like there's like so many obstacles to go through. But it's so much fun, especially when you play with more people, which I really like that they have that with Raft, that there's no limit. You can literally have 20 people if you want playing with you on Raft. So I like that they have that there's really no limit of how many people you can play with. Yeah, I'm dying to see what this next chapter is gonna be. And
then
like I said last time I played, we got caught up and we're like, okay, well, we've already explored what we need to explore, now what? And so we were kind of like, okay, let's look it up and see when this next. And so they were saying that there was another chapter, but they hadn't announced it or said when they were releasing it. And just like recently we saw that it was released and we're like, oh my god, I can't wait to play. But again, we've been so busy with family that I haven't even had a chance to do that.
I want
And then
to
you said
play. I want to play with you, but I feel like
Yeah, that'd
everybody,
be
you
so much
guys are
fun.
all so far progressed that I'd be holding you back because I can barely just drink soup.
They have that on
Well,
the Raft.
unless hey, I'm willing if you are willing, and even Alexa, if you want to like play, I'm willing to start from the beginning. Just to have
gonna
like
do
Do
a
it.
it,
little
you
round.
Alexa. We
This
have
is
to.
live.
We have to totally do it. We gotta stream it. Oh my god, that would make me laugh
That
so
would be
hard.
hilarious. It would just be us three, and we have to start
Do
from the
it.
beginning
Let's
and
do
make
it.
our own
Let's
raft.
do it. Let's do it. I'm down. Because I was feeling a little intimidated. Not gonna lie, I was feeling intimidated because all of you guys were so far progressed. Build this, Annie. Do that. You have to do this. I'm
That's
like,
fair.
I have no idea what that means, honestly. So if you
know.
sense my frustration, it's because I was like, I have no idea. No idea.
And it is a lot. It is a lot when you first start, like any game,
Yeah.
that you're like, oh man, what is this? What do I do here? How do I do this? What button do I press? Or
Yeah.
But the game is a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. And the more you play, the more you progress, and you actually start playing the storyline. Like I said, the beginning is just more so building a raft and surviving.
Yeah.
And accumulating. That's the best thing, is accumulating all these materials. There's like these barrels that float in the water, and if you get these barrels, they'll have like plastic
like-
and metal and wood and stuff that you could gather from materials. So
Okay.
that's basically the first the very very beginning of the game. And then once you start, like I said, exploring islands and stuff, then the storyline starts to come. And that's, I think, where it gets more interesting and where more people enjoy the game more, because now it's like, oh, so now, you're trying to find like what happened and why was this place deserted, and where's this key at, and what does that lead to, and there's like I said, there's a journal and there's all these notes and that kind of correlate together. So once
did
you
you
play,
guys-
you'll
How'd you
get
guys
into
hear
it.
about this game?
I actually heard from another Twitch streamer who played it, and I watched her, and I was like, ooh, I kind of like this kind of game that she's playing. And I think either I bought the game or she gifted it to me, I can't remember. And so then I started playing, and then I started coming around when I met Annie and whatnot, and my sister also started streaming and whatnot. So I was like, hey, I started this game and it's a really cool game, and And so then it kind of started more with my sister and I, that we started playing it together, and then we started having more people kind of join us here and there, and that's when I did try to get like Annie involved as well. And then
Party
Annie was
foul.
like, "Nah, stick to my vow." And I was like,
Party
"All right, no big
foul.
deal."
Yeah.
But we continued, and we, you know, we continued the game. But I'm so down to start again. I would not care. I would
Nice.
definitely, if it was with you two, I would definitely start again and like make our own little raft, and I would
Do
love
it.
to see how you guys do it,
Do
how you
it.
guys survive.
Let's do it. Let's
Okay.
do
It's
it.
a lot of fun. It's a
I'll
lot,
play
a lot
my
of fun.
my existing account since I'm not even that far ahead.
I think we'd have to make a whole new one because it
Oh.
would be us three.
Okay.
Oh,
All
it's
right.
kind of like you explaining it, and like it sounds kind of like when
It's like Ark.
you, or it's like, or just like when like a TV show, and when like, because you kind of have to like watch it with somebody, and then if somebody's like and like they're like in like season 4, and you're just like starting, and
I
you're like, I don't know what's
know.
going right. It's like
Right.
it's a little bit.
And
of
I've
a
actually
learning
done it
curve.
before where I was watching a show and my cousin started watching it from the beginning, and I was like, I'll watch it with you from the beginning again. I'm fine with that. Just so that she would watch it and get caught up
Yeah.
What show is
with the show. Siren. It's a show called Siren with mermaids. It's on Hulu. It's really, really good. I told Annie about it too. And the new one comes out in September. So I
New
was like,
season?
you've got to watch it. Yeah. So I'm like, you've got to watch it so you can get caught up, so you can see the new one in September. And I'm literally watching the first season or the first episode with her.
I haven't even watched
Just so that she
Squid
can
Games
start watching
yet
it.
at all. So
Which
I
one?
only
Squid
watched
Games.
some of it. I didn't watch the whole
I haven't
thing.
I don't know. It looked too morbid for me. I was like, I am so not
Yeah,
into this
that's
kind of
fair.
stuff, you know, honestly. So
I only
Okay.
watched a little bit of it, like maybe the first couple of seasons or first couple episodes of it, and then I didn't watch it anymore.
right.
But Siren's a really good show. I really enjoyed that one. I've literally watched it twice from the beginning to end,
Wow.
and only because the first time I watched it, and then the second time they said, oh, they're coming out with the new one, so kind of like to refresh it. Like I was like, you know what,
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna start it from the beginning again
Mhm.
and just watch it all the way through. So I did it. You know, I watched it, and I think there's maybe 4 or 5 seasons, something like that.
Mm.
On
So,
Hulu. Good to know.
yeah, on Hulu. It's really,
Okay.
really good.
Oh.
Yeah.
What did I was playing, for real, like I have not played Lost Ark in a long time. I have not played Animal Crossing in a long time. We did stream The Quarry.
Oh,
Quarry.
right. I do
Quarry.
remember seeing
It's
you guys.
kinda-
Yeah.
It's kind of like Until Dawn. It's like a choose your own adventure.
Right.
And then they have Brenda Song is in it, and then the one younger sister from Modern Family is in it. Like they have and then there's another actor like David Arquette. Or
Okay.
something.
Right.
Like they have and then like there was like the actor from like that Pikachu movie. He's in there. But we did not get far. Like
Yeah.
we still gotta like get back into streaming that. But
Is it like with zombies and stuff? Is that what that is?
maybe. I have no idea because we really just like I don't think we even finished like the first chapter. We just like scratched the surface. But I've played the one similar to it, Until Dawn. Just because I don't know, it's like scary, choose your own adventure kind of stuff, but it's pretty cool so far. Yes, Voodoo says Ariel Winter, David Arquette, Justice Smith. That's right. Thank you, Voodoo. Yeah, but yeah, and then the story. Okay, here's my other segue.
Okay.
So the story for The Quarry is it's like from what I got so far, it's like a summer camp, and these like group of young folks, it's like the summer camp just ended and they have to leave the camp, but then things happen. And similar, not the same, but that also happened to Taly and her family, but there was not scary things that happened. I tried. Okay, never mind. Anyway, next.
What?
I don't know.
I'm lost.
I know. I was trying to go for like summer and like camp and like I
Like
don't know, a
summer
lake,
vacation, like
but like
summer
family.
outing.
It's okay.
Oh.
We'll edit that out. We'll edit that out. But we did want to end it. We did want to end our episode on a fun note, and we've talked about a lot of crazy things that have happened this summer. But Taly has also done some fun things this summer,
Yeah.
and
Yes, I have. I definitely have.
there's
I
pictures, and she's got a tan.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
okay, so watch the stream. I'm going to show you this, the first one, so you can talk about this one. We're going to go through it kind of quickly, so because I think we're at our second hour, y'all. We didn't even know it. We're
Yes.
already in our second hour, y'all. Okay, go. All right, go.
you do?
I'm not sure which one you're looking at yet. 'Cause
Oh,
it's
okay,
still,
this is
delayed,
you
but-
and your little boy.
Okay, so yeah, so we okay, this is the second time we've gone to the Keys. So we went the first time around,
Lord.
which was only just for a couple of days. I think it was like 2-3 days, and it was for a birthday, and it was more younger crew, I guess, with some of us adults. And then this time around, we decided to go with like the whole family. Not the whole family, but a lot of us. I think there was 18, 19 of us.
Okay.
So there was a pretty good amount of us there. And this time we got to bring the kids along. So what we do at the Keys is we rent boat houses. So you're on the water. It does kind of feel a little bit, what's the word?
Boaty?
Where you're, going
Like you
side
could
to
feel,
side.
feel the house.
Yeah, especially, and it's
Ooh.
weird, especially when you're taking a shower. Why? I don't know. But when you are in the shower, it is the tiniest little shower, stand-up shower, and literally, a couple times, like I had to like put my hand on the wall because I just felt like
Oh,
I was, like, swaying.
wow.
Because you're in the water, but
I
then
don't
you're
know.
in the water.
It's really weird. For some reason, in the shower, I just felt it more than when like you're just sitting in the boathouse. Sleeping is great because you feel like you're getting rocked to sleep, so but you don't feel much. It's really rare for you to feel it a lot, I guess a lot, unless there's like a big boat that passes by or something like that. But they're pretty stable. It's pretty neat. The boathouse itself has your little sofa bed. It's got your kitchen. It's a very tiny little like living room space. You've got a ladder that goes up into the ceiling, so there's like a mattress up there for someone to sleep on. It's got a bed in the middle next to the bathroom, and then you open the sliding, and there's another room in the back. So what happened? I missed.
Johnny goes,
Johnny in the
I'm on a
comments.
boat. I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat.
So I'm imagining like an RV, but like as a boat. How would you describe?
Is it a
the
house on
space?
stilts on water, or are you actually on the
It's a
water in a
boat.
boat?
Oh man, I should have said that picture because I do have it. It's
It's okay.
basically just like, I can explain it like kind of like a mobile home. Like it reminds me of like a mobile
Okay.
home,
Okay.
but it's literally just floating on the water. And then
Yeah.
there's a dock, and it's obviously tied to the dock.
Okay.
And you can get up and down on the dock
And
and
it's like
go to your
two
car.
floors,
And
kind of.
sorry.
It's like 2 floors, like the bottom.
It's not really 2 floors. It's one whole floor. It just has a little ladder to where the ceiling is kind of in a point, and so there's like a space up top where
Okay.
they just stick a mattress in there for extra space for someone to sleep. Or you could always use it for putting your stuff or whatever. But that's usually what we use it because there were so many of us. We had 2 boat houses.
Okay. You said 18
and so-
people, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, we had two boat houses next to each other, which is kind of cool because we're like back and forth between each boat house, and hanging out. So, but what we did was we went, and the main purpose we went for was for lobster fishing, because apparently Wednesday and Thursday that we went that week last week was only for the mini season of lobster fishing. I didn't know any of this. I learned now because I didn't know anything about how this all works. Um, Apparently now, like this weekend, it's like the real season that opens up for lobster fishing, and that Wednesday, Thursday was just mini season. And so I don't eat lobster. I don't even fish it. I'm there as a body, an extra body. You have to have your license for it. So I had to get a license to be able to lobster fish. But really, it's for them to get more on my account, if that makes sense. So, it's just like if someone goes to pull us over or something, that's like, they're my lobster or whatever, the ones they would fish for me. So, but they did get a good amount. I want to say like half a cooler, one of those big size cooler, half a cooler of amount of lobster. So there was pretty good amount. We had a boat, my cousin's boat. He is in the business of boats. He always flips them, fixes them, sells them. So we always have a boat here and there within the family. So he always takes us out, and we took it to the Keys, and you can also park it right next to your boathouse. And so that one picture you saw my son in a life vest, we were on that boat. And so we rode the boat out to different areas. We go to an island where we get to go where the sandbars are, and we put our chairs in the sandbar. You see people barbecuing, you see people with their dogs running around. Like, it's really, really neat. The water is clear, it's beautiful. And then we on one picture you showed, there was a blue mat that we even took with us that you lay out on the water, and it holds like up to 1,500 pounds or whatnot. So all of us were on the mat at one point, and people are falling over, and people are trying to stand up, and just it was a mess. It was hilarious, but it was a lot of fun. And
I think I found it.
and
Hold
so
on.
yeah,
Let me see. Is it this one right here? Yeah.
Was there a lot of people out there?
there was.
Okay.
There was, especially early mornings, when they were out there looking for the lobster. There, you'd see a lot of people. One thing I learned that I didn't know is they put up these red flags with a white line in the middle, and so when you see those red flags out and about, that means that those people are lobster fishing, and you're not allowed to be anywhere near them. You're not allowed to swim next to them. You're not allowed to fish next to them. Like, they have their own little bubble, in a sense,
like your
around
perimeter.
them.
There's
Yeah.
a perimeter around them that you can't
They stake their claim.
Right.
And then is because this is like the coast, right? It's not like it's not a lake, or
This is the open ocean. Yeah.
It's the coast. Okay.
So how if you look at Florida, the Keys are like all the way, those little islands that go down to the bottom. We were literally at like the last one, so like we're way down there at the bottom of the Keys.
And then how far is that from where you are? Like,
So it takes us roughly about 4 to 5 hours drive.
Okay. That's a drive.
Something like that. Yeah, it's not too bad. Sometimes we take turns. We stop, we eat, we try and bring snacks with us, and we try and keep the kids entertained. And to be honest, it really isn't that bad. I love once we get to like further south, right before the Keys, where you just see nothing but water, and it's just so pretty. It's so nice. The views are amazing, so it kind of like keeps you entertained in a sense. Like, I just love watching it as we're driving by. This picture here, this is kind of funny, and I can kind of tell you a little story about this picture with the Spider-Man. So the first time we went to the Keys, we went as, like I said, more of a smaller group, and we were riding on a golf cart, one of those like 8 passengers or whatever it was. And we're riding this golf cart, and we're downtown, so very close to where we stay at the boathouse. It's like maybe not even a 10-minute drive to get to the downtown area, which is on Duval Street, as they call it, Duval Street. It's a very, very popular street over there. There's tons of shops, clubs, bars, restaurants, everything you can think of. There, it's there on that street. And so we were driving the first time we went, and we just so happened to see this Spider-Man zoom by on a scooter, and we like all got startled because he came by so fast. And so it was funny that day we decided to go to Duval Street. We're all we were at a Ben and Jerry's. You could see like the guy down at the ground. He's got his ice cream in his hand. And that's my cousin's husband. So we decided to get Ben and Jerry's, and we're all inside of Ben and Jerry's. And I turn over to my sister and I say, "Oh my God, do you remember that the last time we came, like right around this area, the Spider-Man came through?" As I'm saying that, no lie, the Spider-Man goes through with his scooter.
You manifested
Oh
the
my
Spider-Man.
goodness.
It was so, me and my sister just looked at each other and just started cracking up laughing because we could not believe that as we're saying it, he just so happens to pass by.
Oh my
So
god.
we're like, we have to get a picture with him. Like, we have to get a picture with him. And it was pretty funny. We ended up taking a picture with him. He was asking the girls their ages, and my sister's like, "Oh, I'm 17." He's like, "Oh, come back next year."
Oh my God.
And so yeah, it was funny. But we had such a blast. I mean, we got to go out at night. We got to, see the rock bands that I was talking about that we usually go to and see. So that was pretty cool. They do have Rick's is pretty interesting because Rick's, I really enjoy the place. The first floor is the main floor, which is where the band is. But if you take the stairs and you go to the second floor, there's an actual club with a DJ and lights, like any other place you would go to, which I like. If you walk a little bit to the left, you have one of those bars where it's what do they call it? Like slushies, like they're big machines.
Oh right.
And
I like
they're
everything
still
that you're
alcoholic
saying.
beverages.
I know, right?
And so, and there's bars literally everywhere. There are so many bars. Everywhere you walk, there's a bar. And then you have a strip club, which is kind of funny.
Oh,
But there's also a strip club there
Wow.
in the same area. There's even a pizzeria.
Oh
So
no, next to
it's all
next
one
to the
big
strip
place,
club.
and there's so many things you can do.
Oh my
it's
goodness.
crazy, but it's very popular. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people, if you ask, like, "Hey, where can I hang out?" Downtown in Duval Street, and then most people will tell you Rick's. It's a very, very like touristy or very popular place where most people go to hang out. So
Do it's because do people, can you like have your drinks out when you're walking around, like I like in Vegas, like people have their little
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. You can walk around with
No.
it.
Good to know.
This next picture. So yes, we are wearing penis hats. But,
Oh my
uh,
god.
Nice.
That was
My
because
camera.
there's a store there.
Big family trip, you know.
Yeah, it's just how we roll. But we decided to go into one of these stores. It's called Shorty's, I believe, and they literally have a variety of things that we found there, and we were just cracking up with some of the stuff, and very much gag gift stuff
love
that
it.
they have, and souvenirs and all kinds of stuff there. Yeah, and so we saw that, and we're like, "Hey, let's all just take a picture with it," and so we decided to do that. But we did really have a lot of fun. I did get to go fishing. That was another thing I did that I really wanted to do, but unfortunately I did get seasick. I was very sad that I got seasick because I didn't know that if you go like deep sea, we rode out there for a good like
You
45 minutes.
You
Yeah.
drove on the ocean.
It took us at least 45 minutes or so to get out there, and it was so rocky.
Yeah.
I mean, you could not just stand up. Like if you stood up, you'd have to hold on to something because you'd feel like you'd fall. And these guys, like my cousin and his brother and stuff, they're walking around the boat like if the boat is still. Like I don't
Oh
understand
my
how they do it.
God.
And they're fishing like nothing. They're and it was crazy. They were fishing. As soon as they'd put it out there, they'd catch one, and they'd put it into a bucket, put it out there, catch another one, put it into. I mean, it was like a constant thing.
Dang.
The fish were it was a really good time. And so I did get to fish the first time around, like when we first got there, and I got a pretty good sized fish, so I was proud of that.
There you go.
But after a while, like I couldn't take it, and I could just feel the rocking of the boat, and I was just like, oh no, like I'm starting to feel sick. And so yes, I did get seasick, and then shortly after my cousin's wife got seasick too, and I don't know if it's because
no.
she saw me or because she also, was feeling it. She said she was feeling it too, I think, and then probably to top it off,
Yeah.
seeing me get
Yeah.
seasick, she got seasick.
Does that
Um,
happen to you? Usually,
no,
like, has
that's
that
what's
happened
weird.
before?
But
Okay.
I've never, but then again, I've never been that far out, like deep sea fishing like that.
Right.
And
Right.
so I was asking my cousin because he's a pro and he does it all the time. And he said, no, that always happens when you go out into the ocean and you're really out there. For the most part, it is going to be always choppy like that. He said it's very,
Mm,
very rare that the ocean will be more still than
calm.
choppy.
Yeah.
So, and he's so used to it. He's been doing it for years. So for him, he doesn't get seasick. He doesn't, it doesn't do nothing to him. But for me, I mean, I've never been the type of person to be, to have motion sickness or anything like that. But I don't know. It just, I guess the rocking was a little too much for me. And, I ended up afterwards, I felt better. And, I
You,
kind of wanted
you
to
like
fish,
throw
but
up?
then, huh?
Do you like throw up?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it was like projectile, like bad. And then like that's why I'm saying I think that's why my
Back into the
cousin's
ocean.
wife. Yeah, no, it was funny because
Oh, yeah.
they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, thanks for chumming the waters for us," and I'm like, "Oh man, you're disgusting." They're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get more fish now,"
That's
and I'm like,
so
"That's so
funny.
gross."
Bait.
But right. But they they were so used to it that they were all fine. It was just me and one other girl, and we both, got sick. But we did feel better afterwards because, every time you do, like, throw up, like, I don't know why, but you do feel better.
Of course, you get all the grossness out.
Yeah, that happens
I
to me, but
guess.
not because of being seasick.
Yeah, there you go. That looks fun.
But then, I was better. I wanted to fish. It kind of was like, you know what? I think I should just stay put. And I was afraid that if I did start to move around and try to fish, that I would get sick again. And we were out there for like a good 2 hours. So at one point, I think I started feeling it towards the end again. And they're like, no, we're ready to leave. We're ready to, like, thank God. Because I was like, I don't want to feel that way again. But it's crazy because as soon as the boat started moving and we were actually not just still where the boat was rocky, when the boat started actually moving and I mean, hitting the water really hard, like he goes really fast in the water, and I love it. I love the adrenaline. I love going fast. I love the speed, and that I was totally fine. Like
That's
it
what
went
she
away immediately.
I'm sorry.
So you're saying when the boat is in motion, you're fine, but when
Right,
it's just
when it's in
fine.
motion and I'm saying it's like hitting the water, like I'm going off of my seat and like hitting the seat, and I was totally fine with that. Like that did not bother me. I did not feel sick at all. It's just when the boat was still and rocky was what I guess got to me. But we did get to fish. We did a lot of night fishing too, which was a lot of fun. We went out there and it wasn't as rocky. We didn't go as far out, like we did with the first time. So if you don't go as far out, the water was a lot more still. And they have lights and stuff they put on the boat and stuff, so you can see a little bit.
I have a question.
So it was a lot of fun. Yeah.
When you're that far out, do you DJ? When you're that far out, do bugs attack you like on the ocean like that?
No.
No,
I did not see one
that's
bug.
interesting. Okay. I don't know
No,
why I
not
thought
one
of that
bug.
because I'm the kind of person that I can't be out at night without being attacked. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't have that one bug come around, and
Wow.
I'm one that I don't like bugs, but out in the ocean, no. I mean, I fished on a bridge before, and yeah, that's where you will see the bugs because they go on the bridge.
Interesting.
But in the ocean, no, there wasn't any at all. I mean, I didn't see any, and we caught some crazy things too. Like I caught a barracuda. We caught a baby shark.
Oh, wow.
And one of the pictures you showed was a baby shark. We caught one of my cousins caught a jellyfish, which was really weird to catch a
Wow.
jellyfish. But it was not a
Wow.
jellyfish.
Yeah.
It's like real life Animal Crossing.
Right? And I also caught what was the other thing we caught? A jellyfish, the baby shark, two baby sharks. One was a hammerhead, and the other one was some other shark. I don't know, nurse shark or something.
You put him back, right?
Yeah, because
You're
we
not
put him
supposed
back because the one who knows my cousin and his brother are the one who knows how to like prepare the fish, clean the fish. They like specific fish. And so they say that the shark, it being a baby too, that the meat, I guess, isn't as tender or it's more rubbery or something like that. They were trying to tell me. So, because I was asking the same question, why throw it back? And, you know, it's a pretty big size.
There's like rules about those kinds of things, yeah.
Yeah, there are. When they fish, they have this little table, like a little. It looks like a cutting board, and the cutting board has a ruler. So every time you see them take the fish out, and when they feel like it's too small, they put them on the ruler, and it's got to be a little. Everything has to be more than 12 inches. As long as it's more than 12 inches, then you're good to go, and you can put it in your bucket. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So that's what they were doing, and I'm telling you, like, fishing is sometimes frustrating because I was with my patience and I was fishing, and like as soon as you put that bait in there, those little fish are the ones that are the worst because the big ones, they'll pass by and they'll swallow your bait all in whole, and that's how you catch them, right? Well, the little ones, they just pick at it and they pick at it and they pick at it, and there's lots all at the same time. So by the time you take your hook out, they've eaten your bait. You know, and they don't allow the bait to finally get to the bottom, which is where you want the big fish to come around and grab your bait. So as the bait's going down, they're just eating, and you feel it too. You can feel their bites. and sometimes you do hook them on, and I'm like, oh man, like I get like this little tiny thing. And that was one thing I never did before that I experienced, was actually grabbing the fish and unhooking the fish. I never did that. Every time I caught the fish, I'd be like, okay, babe, here.
You do it. Your turn.
But you're okay touching it?
Yeah, now I'm okay. I mean, I'm fine with putting the bait on it. Like, we were using squid, we were using little tiny fish. So I'm okay with the bait part.
Because I think I remember you saying like you were like allergic, but not to
shellfish.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, to shellfish. So I couldn't touch the lobster. I couldn't eat the lobster or anything like that. So, but with the other stuff, I'm fine with. And so I had never really like grabbed the fish and like taken the hooks out of their mouth.
Wow.
But at one point I had one and I didn't want it to die, and it was so small and there was nobody around. I'm like, what do I do now? Like, I just caught this fish. So like I watched the other, the guys, how they do it. And there's a certain way to hold the fish because, they stick their little fins up. And if they do that, it hurts. They can cut you with their fins. So you have to kind of like go like this and kind of pull their fins down and hold them really tight, because they flip them all over the place and they're slippery. They come out of your hands. So I pretty much learned like how to like actually hold the fish, and then I took the hook out and I threw him back, and I'm like, I did it. I'm like, oh my god, this is the first time.
Wow.
So after that I kept doing it over and over again. I kept taking the hooks out of the fish and throwing them back in and stuff like that. But
that's like level 5 achievement in a.
I know, right? I'm very impressed with myself.
Yeah,
I know.
The hours of raft paid off.
I know.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I've got to say that the trip was 5 days. Was it 5 days?
That's a whole lot of.
We went from
18 people, multiple families.
Tuesday to Sunday.
Ooh.
So, yeah, and we did a lot of cooking so that we kind of like save money. So many of us going out to eat every night or breakfast or lunch. So we did a lot of cooking. We did a lot of prepping beforehand. To bring a lot of snacks and bring a lot of food and whatnot. So, and both boathouses were packed with food and snacks and stuff. So
Nice.
we did that.
So
we did a lot of cooking.
How long did it take for you and your family to like coordinate this?
So we have been planning it for probably about 2 months beforehand, I think.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny you say that because we're very much on like, okay, it's family meeting time, and we all get together, and like us adults sit down, and my mom pulls out a notepad and paper,
Love
and
it.
she makes a list, and we're very, I mean,
Aw.
the thing is that we want it to go well. We want to have a good
Mhm.
time, but we also know that there's so many of us, and so it could get chaotic
Sure.
if we don't plan it a certain way. And so we try to say, okay, you're gonna make this, you're gonna make that, you bring this, you bring that, and that too saves people from having to buy everything. We don't want one person to have to worry and buy everything, so we try and split it up between all of us, so that it's not so much. And we'll be like, okay, you get the paper plates and cups and whatnot, and you get the napkins
Love it.
and drinks, or you get the alcohol, I'll get the meat. We kind of like try and split it up between us, or if there's something specific that you want, then you bring it on, you bring it yourself.
Yeah.
So,
I'd be the
and
alcohol auntie.
yeah, and then we had my cousin rented a van, so that way we were all able to, well, my one cousin with the boat, he went with his truck because he had to pull the boat behind him, and then we took a van where where the rest of us were in. And it was crazy because that van was packed to the top. Like, you could not even see the back window. Like, you couldn't see it at all. The good thing that the van had a backup camera, because if not, you would not be able to see backing up.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yeah, it was packed. It was really packed with everything that we needed. But it worked out well. Everybody had a really good time. We had several little incidents. One, I dropped my towel in the water.
Yeah.
It
Oh my
sank to the
god.
bottom. It sank to the
Goodbye,
bottom. It was in
towel.
between the boathouse and the dock, like the little space. And the thing is, so mornings, right? Tide is up. So your boathouse and your dock are right next to each other. Come the nighttime, tide goes down.
Uh-huh.
So to get onto the dock is a pain. Like, so they have these little step things that you could put, they come with the boathouse, that you can put there to make it so that it's two steps to get up onto the dock. Um, and
Ah,
sometimes people don't put them on, people do. So at one point I was so tired of having to climb up onto that dock
you
that
tried it.
it literally almost fell to the other side of the dock where there's like mangroves and
Oh
like water.
no.
Oh
And I
no.
felt so bad for my cousin because he's on one side of the dock and I'm on the other. And so he goes, come on. So I put one foot up on the dock and I have one foot
Nope.
on the boathouse.
Nope.
And he goes, 1, 2, 3. And he wants to like,
You
like
went on
hoist me
two.
up.
Nope.
Well, my foot got stuck on the dock. My other foot got stuck on the dock,
My
and I went forward,
Oh,
and then he went
no.
forward. So we literally almost landed on the other side of the dock, like in the mangroves. But thank God for him that he like stopped us both from falling. Um, yeah, that's when my towel fell in between
Oh,
the boathouse.
gosh.
Then we had my cousin's cousin, right? Her cousin from her side of the family put her phone on a cooler.
No.
Girl, no.
Nuh-uh.
We all
What
know where this is
happened?
going.
Put her phone on a
Stank,
cooler.
stank in the water in the bottom of the
And
ocean.
one of the other girls came by, opened the cooler,
Oh.
and it went whoosh into the water. The thing is, nobody knew. We figured it out afterwards.
Oh.
And we're looking around for this phone, looking for this phone, looking for this phone.
Calling it.
And it just so happens that my cousin is next to our boathouse. And she goes, I've been trying to call it with regular phone, like through the regular phone number. And it's like not going through. She goes, let me try FaceTiming it. Let's see if it. And right when she presses that button, we hear bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, and we're like, oh yeah, it's definitely in the water. It is definitely in the water. The thing is, it was nighttime, so you couldn't see.
Yeah.
So
Oh
we couldn't see in the water.
no.
And just by hearing that, we were like, it has to be the phone. How is it a coincidence that
Yeah.
she calls it and we hear these bubbles coming out of the water?
It's
you
the
know,
fish.
so-
It's the fish calling you.
And the water isn't that deep there. It really isn't that deep there. You can get in and you can touch the ground. So the next day, and we thought like her phone was done. Like, well, it's not waterproof. Like, one of those like waterproof phones, or what is water resistant apparently, but wasn't like waterproof. And so the next day, my cousin jumped into the water, found her phone,
Fished it out.
and it worked.
Oh
Huh.
no, it did
Her
not.
phone still
What?
worked. Yeah, her phone still worked.
Is it
And
an
that's
iPhone?
all night that it
Is it
stayed
an
up. Yeah,
Android?
it was
Is it an
iPhone.
Android
An
phone?
iPhone.
iPhone?
No, an iPhone. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's the iPhone
Oh.
Aqua.
They
It
need to,
stayed
you know, they need,
underwater all night, and still the next day it was working. I could not believe it.
they
I was
need
like,
to
girl,
make
you
the
are so
iPhone
lucky.
like the Apple Watch where it pushes out water. If you're familiar with
Oh.
Apple Watches, they have a mode that you can put your watch in water resistance. So if you happen to submerge it in water, people actually do swim with it, or you accidentally get it, like, you know, as you're washing your hands and you get water in it, you rotate the dial and it pushes the water out. I'm like, why can't they do that for regular iPhones? Hello? Yeah. So I don't know. It's a
That's
thing.
pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to know. If we ever
Mhm.
we're ever in the ocean and we need a fish, we know we want you. I
Yeah.
want you on the boat with me, but don't get seasick near me.
But yeah, I felt like I kept getting hurt too. Like, I don't know why.
Oh
I
my
was like prone to
goodness.
accidents. You can't even see it anymore, but I had like, you can kind of see, I had like two big
No.
bruises on my arm. Every time we would jump
Oh.
off the boat, like we would jump off the boat to like just swim, like we would get hot, we would jump off the boat, and then we would come back on the boat, we would go up the ladder. And there was like this little piece of metal that kept sticking out where the ladder, that's where the ladder latches on when you bring the ladder up, like when you're
Mhm,
riding on
mhm,
the boat.
mhm.
And that piece, every time I would grab onto the ladder, you're wet and the ladder's wet, and it would like go like it would like
Yeah, you
go
slide
down,
down.
on accident.
Uh-huh.
I would slide down and I would hit. I literally did it 2 times and had 2 bruises on here.
Oh my goodness.
Then at night, somebody left. What was it? I forget what it was. That I tripped over and landed on my knees
Oh
and
no.
and scraped both my knees.
OMG.
And everybody was sleeping. And at the next day, they're like, "I heard this big boom." I was like, "Yeah, it was
Oh
me." And I landed
my
on my knees.
goodness.
So yeah, like a lot of things happened with that trip that I was
You-
just.
You made it through. You're
You
here
did.
now.
I
Here
know,
you
right?
are.
I was like,
And she
God, I was
lived
like, why
and
did I hurt myself so much that trip?
She lived it, and she lived to tell the stories.
I know. It sounds
It was a lot of fun though.
Nice.
yeah.
We saw manta ray underwater, which was pretty cool.
I love
And I didn't get to see any lobster underwater. The guys did, and they, you know, the ones that caught it and whatnot. I didn't get to see any. And that was my whole point too. I was like, man, I want to take my phone, and I had that little case that you put it in, and I wanted to record them as they were fishing the
Yeah.
lobster. Like that was my main,
Right.
but it didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Aw, man.
And when we were looking for lobster, like when I was there, there weren't any. Like we went to like so many different spots, and every time they would get in the water and they'd look, they couldn't find it. And then they were blaming me. Oh, it's because you're here. I'm like, thanks.
Aw.
They're
Yeah.
like, you know
Down
what?
the
You're not coming
flag.
with us no more. You get seasick. Things happen to you. Like,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
fair. But overall, we really did have a really, really good time.
Yeah,
Everybody had
sounds like
an
it.
amazing time, and
Good. Good,
yeah,
good,
it
good.
was a lot of fun. I definitely go back. Like, I definitely.
Sounds
My
like-
cousin actually went back with her husband like yesterday, for the main season of lobster fishing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, oh, you guys go. I'm not going again. I'm like, my husband will kill me.
No, anytime soon. I feel that. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. I mean, it's summer.
And
Lots of
SeaWorld right afterwards too, which was kind of crazy. And we got caught in the rain at night. We were soaking wet from head to toe, like running in puddles. And you know what's crazy? I noticed that it was lightning, thundering, like right on top of us, right? And I'm like, I think we should take cover for safety reasons. They don't let you. The park did not let us because they were closed. So they kept telling people, you can't stand here, you gotta go. And I'm like, do you not see that it's lightning and thundering? Like, we're gonna get struck. Like, we kept saying, like, oh my God, we're like, you know, in the middle of this like storm, and they would not let us stop. So we literally had to just keep walking and walking and walking. We took a wrong turn. I was seeing things I didn't even get to see during the day. I was like, oh, that's new. Yeah, we're definitely not going the right way to get to the exit. But that was a lot of fun too. I got to see like the dolphin show and the orca show, and we got to see the sharks and all kinds of fish, and it was really really neat. Jason had a really good time. My cousins got on all the roller coasters. I didn't get in on any rides because I was mainly with my son. But they got on rides and stuff, and it was a very spontaneous thing. We just decided like, hey, my cousin's not here every day from New York, and we don't have any plans, so let's go to SeaWorld. So we drove the 2.5 hour drive and went to Orlando and went to SeaWorld. It was pretty cool. We had a good time there too. Talk about we were tired afterwards, that's for sure.
Dude, for real.
And I was like, I don't want to drive. I don't want to drive because I drove Key West and I drove SeaWorld.
Oh, jeez.
So I was like, I do not want to drive no more.
I didn't realize there's a SeaWorld in Florida.
Yeah.
Because there's also one in like San Diego,
Yeah,
right?
there's one here in San Diego. Yeah.
And in Texas, in San Antonio.
There's a Lion Country Safari too. Well, there was actually here in California.
There's one here, yeah. There's Lion Country Safari here too, which we did this summer too as well. We got to go to Lion Country Safari and see all the animals, and we fed the giraffes, and yeah, it's been a very eventful summer. I mean, we have
For
done
real.
a lot,
It sounds like it has definitely been for all of us.
right?
But then it's also
Definitely.
like, and now summer's ending and it's gonna get into the fall and then the holidays, and it's just
Right?
like,
By the time we know it, Christmas is here. Like,
It is.
seriously.
it is. But it's good.
Let me
We're-
share some photos with you guys from
yeah.
from the start of was it start of summer? Yeah, start of summer. You
Which
guys will
one?
see this,
Yeah.
and we got to meet up with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
So we met up with you, DJ, our other friend, our other streamer friend, Marknificent, who's a musician, singer, songwriter, and then Crazy Pac-Man. I don't think he's here right now. He's not on the stream. And my other friend, Chris Trainer, who's a drummer and our audio engineer extraordinaire. And that's in front of the NAM, but what we went to was the National Association of Music Merchants convention, or trade show, and that was all things, musicians, streaming to pro audio, all the instruments you can possibly imagine, and that's in front of one of the iconic NAM signs. And then we spent. What was interesting is that we we all bought hot dogs. Even me, I bought a vegan hot dog, and we don't ask me why we decided to eat before we went to go eat.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
That was it was I don't yeah.
If
I
you-
it's amazing that we even still had an appetite afterwards, but yeah, that was a lot of fun too. And then we went to Hello Sushi, which is now becoming a staple place for us to go hang out at. So anytime anybody that comes through SoCal, the welcoming crew, as I like to call it, will be taking you guys to Hello Sushi, so we can do all you can eat sushi. And if you don't eat seafood or fish, there's always chicken, because Pac-Man did order some teriyaki chicken.
Oh, there you go.
So the picture here, left to right, is Magnificent, myself, Mickey, Tech Hub Legend in the middle, between me and Rosaline, or me and Alexa, of course, and DJ B, and Crazy Pac-Man. So again, Hello Sushi is one of our favorite places to go eat at. And then during the start, not too long ago, actually, maybe about a month ago, Pac-Man, Mickey, and our other friend, Johnny Freaking Rico, who is in the stream now, who's in the YouTube channel stream with our chat, and his son, Andrew, went up to LA Live, which is across the street from what is now called Crypto Arena. It used to be called the Staples Center. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We went to another sushi place. I'll never go there again. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't want to, shame them.
but overpriced, unbelievably overpriced. Didn't get anything for our, no bang for our buck, which is why we think we're always going to go to Hello Sushi. So that was that. And then we also met up with a streamer friend of ours from Northern Cal named Base Lumpia. I'd like to say that he came all the way down from NorCal to come see us specifically, but I would be lying. He came to the Anime Expo, which was happening at the Crypto Center, Crypto.com Center Arena. And so he came and met up with us for dinner that night, and we hung out. And this is him here. And let's see, a little cameo shot there. And it was
lots of meetups.
What's that?
Lots of meetups.
Yeah, lots and lots of meetups. And then it was also my birthday, so we got to celebrate my birthday, and they brought out some birthday mochi for me. And that was a lot of fun. Now, I wanted to also share with you guys, and this is I think it's going to be a really fun segue here for you guys. I enjoyed this. Let me get my stream ready for this, you guys. But we had a lot of fun at NAM. Let me find my stream here. It's around here somewhere. Here it is. Okay. So at NAM, we got to play with some real live instruments. I'm going to turn down this pretzel rock so you guys can hear the live stream. But let's see. Starting with this one here, I'll show you guys in just a second. I'm going to make sure it's streaming adequately. Okay, now it is.
Oh, good.
Okay.
We'll probably wrap up shortly as well. So
really quickly, I will stream this part. Okay, so this is a jam session. I'll bring it in. I'll bring in the audio for you guys to hear. Maybe double, maybe, or no, maybe. I don't think. I don't think I'll have to bring it in. But this is Magnificent DJB and Crazy Pac-Man jam session here at one of. I think it was Taylor Guitars. They were testing out the guitars. Can you guys see that? Can you hear
Not yet. It's coming.
Maybe it's a little low. Oh well, there's that.
I don't hear the sound. I can see
don't
it.
hear it?
Oh wait. Oh wait.
I hear it.
Okay.
Never mind. I hear it. I had it on mute.
It's like Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an overload of guitars and all these instruments.
Speaking of
NAMM.
retro, I've never heard this song.
All right, well,
but,
there's that. And then there's this other video. Oh, my gosh. So somebody egged me on. And I'm like, okay, fine. So somebody wanted me to play the drums. And I'm like, okay. It wasn't my best performance, you know. I wasn't ready. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how to play drums at all. So me pretending to play drums was hilarious. I couldn't even get the darn headphones to stay on. You'll see in a minute. Oh, and these are electronic drums. So they're like, or what they call silent drums. And you have to have headphones. So we couldn't hear per se. So it wasn't until Pac-Man took a cell phone and brought it up against a pair of headphones that we could hear it.
Smart.
Yeah. Look at me. I'm struggling a little bit with this headphone here. Here, well, let me get into the drumming part. Here's the drumming part. Don't ask me. I don't know what I was doing.
It's really fun though, because it's like everything is there, and you can like see it and test it out, and like
And touch
play
things.
with all the fancy
yeah.
toys. And,
Yeah. So that.
like I can't afford it that stuff, but it's cool to cool to look at.
Yeah. That was my summer so far. I've had a lot of fun at the beginning of this summer in that, there was, of course, there's my daughter's wedding when she got married. Um, a lot of meetups, and like I said, the SoCal folks here. That would include Johnny. I recruit them. I go, come meet our new, come meet one of our streamer friends. So they come along with me. There's such good sports when they come up to or come over and they hang out with us. And Johnny, Crazy Pac-Man, and Mickey are kind of the welcoming crew now. But you guys, we have quite a few more things happening during the next couple, months. At the end of this month, I'm going to, where am I going? Oh, I'm doing the Pinners Conference. I just had a podcast on a Pinners Conference, and I thought it was like trading pins and such. Boy, was I wrong. Pinners Conference. It's called Pinners, like Pinners, when they should be calling it Pinterers, but because it's a play on Pinterest. Yeah, it's a play on Pinterest. In that it's like DIY overload. You basically are going to be in a forum setting, a conference setting, with all these DIYers that would normally find, like, say on Pinterest, right? And they have real life demonstrations on how to make things. They have crafts, a lot of crafts. Oh, Taly, you would go crazy. A lot of crafts, a lot of they even have I think they had said that there's a sewing room, a sewing room of some sort, even like a cooking stage. I'm like, you're kidding me. Yeah. So it's like what did she say? It's a play on Pinterest and shopping gone wild. So it's a lot of that. A lot, if you like crafting, you like DIYers and that kind of stuff. I'll be doing that at the end of the month. And you can check out that video interview on my YouTube channel. Just scroll down, you'll see it. It's with her name is Roxanne Bennett. She's the CEO of Pinners Conference and Expo. And then at the end of the month, I will also be going to where am I going? Monster Jam trucks. And I had an interview yesterday. Excuse me. I had an interview yesterday with
have you interviewed them before?
I have interviewed Monster Jam. Nice. Monster Jam is pretty much of a staple, like, in my repertoire. But yeah, they set me up with all these lovely or awesome drivers, and oh my gosh, it's so much fun to talk with the drivers, because you learn about how they got their start driving, how they even built, like, as kids, built their own monster truck. What the heck? Kids, I'm using Legos, not building trucks, So yeah, I'm actually going to be going to the Monster Jam show at the end of this month. Also at the Crypto.com Arena Stadium. What's interesting about this, and this you can hear it also during the interview, is it's not an open air stadium like, say, Anaheim Stadium or Dodger Stadium or any one of the baseball fields. Normally it's on one of those fields. Roof. It's a closed roof, so everything is magnified, right? So I mean, magnified, loud decibels are like out through the roof. You actually are encouraged to wear earplugs or noise canceling headphones to be able to drown out the noise. But and I was telling my son is like, I got dibs. Okay, fine. And I said, well, you may want to get some earplugs or something to cover your ears. He goes, no, are you kidding me? I want to hear all the audio. Such a nerd. I'm like, okay.
I want to hurt my ears.
I want to hurt my ears. Yeah, and it's interesting because the driver that I interviewed yesterday, his name is Tyler Meninga. I think I said his name wrong last night, but Tyler Meninga. And I asked him, like, was it an adjustment for you to be able to drive in a closed arena? He goes, no, I've been doing this, for the last 5-6 years. And because they're in such a closed and confined area, it's not as spacious as a large stadium. They have to get creative. So one of the things that they do is what they call freestyle. So they actually, do acrobatic stuff and stunts while in their cars while driving. And, they have, like, I think it's a 2 or 3 minute time frame to do that, and they, the audience votes on the best freestyle performance, and of course they compete for speed, and they have contests for speed to who can make it to the finish line faster, and so on and so forth. So that's one of my I actually am looking forward to that. It's one of the things that I have done for years and years and years with my kids, my son mostly. But one thing that they kind of did away with not too long ago, just recently, and this is where The Greatest Showman gets its story from, is from P.T. Barnum. They did away with the whole Ringling Brothers, and that was a whole iconic staple for us during the summer. My entire family, we would go every single year, and I've done it for I want to say maybe 10 years. But when they did away with it not too long ago, it's like, now what do we do during the summer? Because there's not a whole lot that goes on during the summer. Not necessarily nothing, but not the normal things that we would be doing, like I said, circus, and even some other Disney events. So I have a publicist that sends me press information, and she can tell me like what's happening, and I can pick and choose the events that I want to go to, or talk with talented those that I want to talk with, and so that's a lot of fun. And we have TwitchCon coming up not too many months. Well,
they just announced tickets.
Yes. So I am planning on going. I am on the media list, so I believe I am going once I get my media confirmation. And yeah, nice. We do have a place. We do have a place that's on reserve currently, and I have yet to solidify those plans. So we have plans. We have a place to stay for the duration. Now we just have to kind of work on logistics and decide who's going where and where we're going to meet. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah.
Okay. So Annie, you talked about like things that you're looking forward to coming up.
Right.
Taly, is there anything that's coming up for you that you're looking forward to?
TwitchCon for sure.
You're gonna go too?
I'm hoping to. I really, really, really want to. We need to all be at the same place, and I feel like every time you guys have gone, I'm like the only one not there. I'm like, no, especially for our Mixed Talk podcast, and now for this podcast, I think that I need to be there. I can't not be there. So
it'll happen. It'll happen if
there's news, but we'll get to that later. About that. So I think I told you, Annie. Well,
okay. Is this like an offline thing or?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay.
But
wait, you told me? Wait, let
me
think. No, I don't think you. I think you did tell me that I have something to tell you, but never told me.
Oh.
Almost there. Almost.
Oh my goodness. Offline. That's a whole nother conversation.
I should if everything works out, I should be there.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that because I've never gone to Cali, so that'll be my first time going there too.
Right.
So yeah, I'm excited.
What do you have going, Alexa?
I mean, we haven't made plans for TwitchCon, so as of right now, it's an I don't know. So, but you guys are going. I'm like, I want to go. So.
Have to be there.
I know.
I want us to even wear our shirts and stuff. Even for this podcast, for other podcasts, and take pictures of each other and stuff. I think that'd be so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
lots
we
of
shall
things
see.
coming up.
I mean, it's just
yeah.
Because like what we said, there's once there's something, then there ends up being something else, and just
right.
It just continues, and I gotta save up my coins and.
I hear you. I think there's still a possibility for me to go to Cincinnati. That's still kind of in the works, and that's for work. So okay. I don't know. I say that now, but who knows? Who knows? If it'll even come to fruition. Who knows? But it's still on the table. I'm hoping to. I want to go, but at the same time, No, because you know, there's. Look at how we're communicating, you guys. We have Discord. We have, people use Zoom. People have Teams, right? Microsoft Teams, and they can conduct whole seminars and workshops and educational,
Yep.
you know,
It's gonna go
um,
virtual.
yeah,
Right.
all that. And so who's to say you can't do that even now for work? But see, I work in the auto industry, so it's kind of hard to do auto parts if you're not there. I guess I don't know.
True.
Yeah, so
That's fair.
I don't know. Whatever. If they send me, they send me. If they don't, no sweat off my nose.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, thank you both.
Well, thank
This
you
has
for
been
hosting.
really fun. We talked about so many things.
Yes.
'cause
Sure did.
summer is so much.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, and we already talked about things we're looking forward to. See, it's been a while since we've done this, so I'm like, how do we
end?
yeah, I mean, where can we find you? Where whatever
yeah,
other
yeah.
content, where would we
My
would the lovely
goodness, I have
viewers
not
go?
one mod here. Hello, I posted all that stuff in the admin channel, but nobody's here, so I will shout it out. So here, I will shout it now in the YouTube channel. So y'all go follow all of us here. Oh snap. Okay, well. Oh, it doesn't like me. Sorry, give me a minute. It's saying too many letters, Annie. Oh, still too many letters. Okay, hold on. Let me
Put it in the chat already.
Okay.
But while you're doing that,
There's
Taly, where can we
that.
find you?
Oh, there.
You
It
can
just
find me on
showed
my
here.
OnlyFans. No, I'm kidding. You can either find me on my YouTube, which is Taly Rios on YouTube. On Twitch, I am known as Wifey or Wifey Loves Nerd. Is where you can find me on there. I'm trying to do more streaming. Maybe now once all these trips that we had, now that it's gonna die down a bit. And when school starts and all that, but I definitely want to do some more live streaming and stuff, so that'll be something coming in the future, and I'm gonna have Annie help me and get that going. So but you can find me on those two. You can also go on Facebook as Taly Rios as well. Any of those are fine.
Sweet. And then Annie, I saw you put
Yeah, I
the
have
things in the chat, but-
one social it's on Linktree. You can find all my stuff on Linktree, you guys. You can find it there, or you can also join us in Discord. We're always here in Discord, y'all. Always, and I say always,
Very
and I 100% mean we're always here every day.
Yep.
So come join us in Discord. We do play a lot of Valorant. I'm not gonna lie, we are very Valorant centric. We have been playing Overwatch, and I can't wait for Overwatch 2 to come. I almost said 3, 2 to come out. And yeah, so hopefully we'll start playing Raft. At the entry level, because I get
Yes, we'll
intimidated
start from
so
the
much. And there you go. So you guys join us, and then everybody go follow. Alexa also has a link tree. You can find her at Alexa PB. There you go. Alexa PB.
That's what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Rizaline B on Twitch, Rizaline B _ I think on Instagram.
Mhm.
Yeah, just follow the link and find me there.
Linktree is my favorite
You'll-
thing. I'm telling you, has everything there.
You'll
you
find me
can-
on someone's stream or something, and I don't know, but
You can also,
find
you
it.
guys, you can actually go to this, and I don't use it ever anymore. Oh, I shouldn't say that, because I pay for this Dane domain. But you can always go follow me here at AnnieTalks.com. Before Discord, before there was Discord, there was an AnnieTalks.com, and there still is. But you can find all my socials there as well. So go check it out, and then you can always follow this channel. This podcast will live here. So if you missed it, if any of your friends or family missed it and you want them to watch it, it will live on this channel shortly after we're done. But thank you, everybody. Thanks everybody for joining in chat. Super appreciate it.
Let us know. You can ping any one of us and let us know if you have any questions. Give us some of your talk ideas. As Alexa said earlier, we talk about everything's all things matters of the heart. So, and really, it's a forum for all of us to be able to just talk openly, freely, no holds bars, right? So, which is why we're
Right.
not on the other platform. We're here.
Mm-hmm.
Give us your
Yeah.
suggestions.
But yeah, and I guess that should do it. So again, thank you, Annie.
Thank you.
Taly. Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you,
YouTube.
Alexa.
And again, we are Girl Talk, and we will be back next month and talking about more crazy, fun, interesting things. So stay tuned.
We are gonna.
Yep.
Let me shout this one out really quick too. Don't forget.
I was gonna be like, let's find someone to raid.
I know.
This isn't Twitch.
This is
Just
not
kidding.
Twitch. Okay, you guys, make sure you go follow us at. It is Twitch Mix Talk, right? Oh my god.
Mix
Twitch-
Talk Live.
Mix Talk. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? Okay, let me do it
It's
again.
okay. It's
Hold
a
on.
long,
Mix,
you know, it's a lot of things going on in
Mix
life. and
Talk
We, just,
Live.
we do our best.
There you go.
It takes a lot to put all these things
The
together.
the three of us are
Right.
here. The three of us here are also on Mix Talk, and we're joined with DJ B and Johnny Frickin' Rico. Come hear us. The conversations are so funny. We talk about all things nostalgic and retro that are relevant to today. That's a cool tagline, you guys. I love that. And then join us in any one of our socials and hang out with us. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right,
no
that should
rating.
do it.
No rating. Okay.
Yes, this is a Girl Talk signing off for now.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye, gals.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.